Perfect for nights out, social gatherings, or anytime you want the experience of a drink without sacrificing tomorrow. Check it out at rkbeverages.com. That's ARKAY beverages.com. RK, all the flavor, none of the alcohol.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A good karma brands radio station. Time.
There's no tush push if you're not pushing the tush.
Hahn.
I want you protecting my blind side.
And Rosenberg.
When I was 7, I was riding shotgun and smoking cigarettes. This isn't North Dakota. This is New York.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
The best threesome I've ever heard.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
That's right. This is New York. Go New York, go New York, go. Finally, we're in the postseason tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Knicks-Hawks game 1 at Madison Square Garden, and we are all over it. It's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on a kind of a wacky Friday, at least by me. The sun was out, gorgeous day, then it rained. Then the sun came right back out again, got humid. But so far, so good. A glorious weekend upon us. How's everybody doing?
Good. I had the same experience here, Don. Like, it was hot, a gorgeous day. And then all of a sudden just started to sprinkle. And I thought, oh, no, here comes the rain. And then sun came back out, but now we got some clouds again. This hot weather is now going to turn, as we all know. Tomorrow might be the best day. And then the chill comes. But you know what, though? It's still playoff weather to me. I don't know about you, Peter. I know where you are in Vegas, where it's just always hot. And you've got a hot weekend coming up. But
oh, yeah.
Playoff time feels different, boys. Hits different.
It really does. It really, really does. And I heard it hit 90 for the earliest it's ever hit 90 in April, and then of course it get cold again because things are normal.
Yeah, we got the block party that we're gonna be at on Monday, getting into Game 2.
Oh yeah,
at Madison Square Garden. So come by, hang out with us. Looking forward to that. So that is confirmed, and bring a jacket because it's gonna get cool because all that rain on Sunday they're expecting. It's going to kind of cool it down, but hey, it's still spring, postseason, and the Knicks are all we got. None of the hockey teams made it. Of course, the Nets didn't make it. So this is going to be the focus, and it's not a focus out of, well, the Knicks are the only playoff team, so let's be all in. We would have been all in if all of them had made it, because this is the team that people expect to make a run, and expectations are high. Last year they surprised us, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, we got Boston in the second round. Looks like it's going to end early, and then they go away to the conference final, and expectations were high. Then they lowered. Then they got high again. Now it's on. We get the Atlanta Hawks, an old nemesis, but not the same team that knocked them out a couple of years ago.
Mm-mm.
Let's go. Let's get to work.
All right, so let me gauge from you guys before I crunched a lot of numbers because I had to do a playoff preview. So I put a lot of stuff together. To just things to look for and all this other stuff. Not too deep in the weeds, but just enough. Like if you're somebody that isn't a diehard Knicks fan, but you're now, because it's the playoffs, you want to watch, I'll just give you a couple of things. Keep an eye on this series that'll let you know whether or not the Knicks are in control or the Knicks find themselves in trouble against a good young Hawks team that finished the season really a red-hot team. But the most important thing I want to know from both of you is your level of confidence in what the Knicks are about to embark on. I'm not saying championship. What I'm talking about is run. We had a run last year. It didn't end well, but it was still a run. We had 3 rounds. We had a lot of those, the remotes that you're talking about, a little block party. We did several of them. It was a lot of fun. So do you both expect a similar run that we're going to get ourselves into through May, or not? Like, how are you feeling about it right now, both of you going into this?
Honestly, and I've heard this conversation all day, I'm just focused on this series. I know everybody wants to get excited and think about the matchup against Boston. Have we learned nothing? That when we make assumptions with this team, we get smacked in the face. Because after they beat Boston last year, it's, oh, you're making plans for the finals because, of course, they're going to beat Indiana. Can't possibly lose to Indiana. Well, you did. And then you go back to when they matched up against the Heat. Oh, they're going to beat the Heat. We're going to the conference final. Nope. If there is a team that should stay focused on the task at hand, it's the Knicks and what's up here. I mean, listen, you guys want to have fun. I can't get into your head and how you want to, and I can't answer for Peter or for Alan. But for me, I cringe when I start hearing about, who would you want to match up with in the finals? Or, how do you think it's going to be against the Celtics? We have a series against a pretty game Atlanta Hawk team that you should focus on. So that's all. I'm confident they're going to win this series. Although I will tell you, win tomorrow. You lose tomorrow, all bets are off. This team has never won a series when they've lost the first game at home. And take a look at what happened last year and the way they lost that game one against Indiana. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to feel a lot different, Peter, on Monday, up 1-0 than down 0-1. Just looking at the history of this Knicks team. So when I start thinking about that, I'm sorry, I can't really look beyond Saturday. Is that lame or is that logical?
I love you bringing that up. That's such an important piece to remember, because the way that game went last year, game one against Atlanta, was so stupid.
Indiana.
I'm sorry, Indiana. What'd I say?
Atlanta.
Sure. Indiana, Atlanta, all the same.
Atlanta's on your mind.
None of them are in New York. You know what I'm talking about?
That's it.
That first game against Indiana was so crushing. It was such a stupid, frustrating loss that completely – there's no loss like a game one loss on your home turf. It can completely – it ignites the confidence of the lower seed and completely throws doubt into the fan base. A fan base that's already kind of walking on eggshells. The truth is the average Knick fan to feel good in this series – really needs this to be like a dominant sort of just beat 'em up kind of series. So you made the point, Don. It's a great one. That said, I think that will happen. I think they beat Atlanta in 5.
Yeah.
I think Atlanta will take 1 in Atlanta. A little gentleman sweep. Come back to New York, finish this thing off. That's how I feel. We talked a lot about the pressure yesterday on this Knicks team. I do believe that. And Alan, I brought it up. I saw Mr. Big Body Brunson.
You saw Kendrick?
I saw Perk, man. We had a nice reunion from our days of the hoop streams on ESPN when we were starting our ESPN basketball days together. Kendrick, of course, went on to become one of the biggest stars of the company, and I am what I am.
Effort
star.
That's right. Sorry.
No,
I'm kidding.
In the company. He's one of the biggest stars, and you're a star in the company.
Yeah. I'm a star. He's a shooting star. But no, when we talk basketball, I told him about Alan, our conversation yesterday about who has the most pressure.
Yeah.
And Perk believes, and I know you've discussed this with him, he believes that in some ways the Knicks are playing with house money, which is not how we feel here in New York. And the main pushback I gave him was the way he's looking at it is kind of from the fan base. Well, if it doesn't work out, you know for a fact now that Giannis wants to be in New York. And I said, well, that's great. But there are about 3 or 4 guys on this team who know that if this doesn't work out and they pursue Giannis, you are gone. Unless your name is Jalen Brunson, there are only a couple of names, guys, that you could be 100% sure you're a part of the future here. Otherwise, there's a lot of pressure that if it doesn't work out, they pursue this Giannis thing, this whole group's getting blown up. So it's a lot of pressure, and I think it's going to be a hell of a run, though. I don't know why. I have a lot of faith in the Knicks to go on a run.
It is that feeling I have, and that's why, like with this series, it's not an overconfidence. It's not any of that stuff. Like don't get me wrong. This is not like a rah-rah. I'm not trying to be like that. I'm being as logical as I can. I normally am, and this is for me the logic of this first round matchup is me looking at a Knicks team that has been the core of this team has been now for a couple of years where they are winning first rounds. Right, Philadelphia, that was a fun series, a great series. Cleveland, a great series. They've had the Detroit one. Okay, that Detroit one was a war with a team that you probably were a little caught off guard about just how hard they were going to play, right? But they still won it because you have the better player. You have Jalen Brunson, and I just feel like because of it, they know exactly how we know that this is kind of it. Like it's. For this group, it's not do or die, but more like spit or get off the pot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like this is the time right now. And they know it. And so I think they'll take, regular season basketball, Don, you always say it, and you are right. It's funny. I wanted to send you a quote from Josh Hart. because I know it would have made you either, go on a rant or laugh. Josh Hart, when talked about the matchup with the Hawks this season, he's like, none of it matters. None of it counts because we were missing a couple of guys in every game. We weren't really our whole team. And it's the regular season. He's like, who was coming off a back-to-back? What was the situation in the schedule? So put nothing into the matchups during the regular season is what he said. They mean nothing.
I think we have that here.
And I just feel like with this team fully healthy, going into the series, understanding that this is kind of it for them, that I think you're going to get not a team that's batting the bunny, a team that understands, like, we got to step into this series ready. And I think that's what I'm curious about seeing on Saturday, is how business-like they are about this first round.
And that's why I think Game 1 is so important. The history of losing Game 1, and also why give them any life? They would love nothing more than to get a split in New York and go back to Atlanta 1-1. If they were able to take Game 1, that's when it can kind of get away from you. Look what the Knicks were able to do taking the first 2 games in Boston last year.
That's right.
Do not give this team life. If you're that much better, take care of business, beat them, and then just continually, keep the pedal to the metal. Now, the big difference between this team and last year's team is Mike Brown. And Mike Brown spoke, and he said he's happy with where this team is at.
Everybody in that locker room has a competitive spirit that I like and that I can say is unmatched. And I love the group. We're competing not just for 53 wins. We're competing at the end of the day like we feel everybody else is to win it.
Yeah, you like that. Not settling.
They're talking about it. You know how some teams don't talk about it? That's the other thing. The other reason why that's caught my attention. This group isn't like, hey, we're going to try. They are collectively saying our goal is to win a championship. The only teams that talk that way are ones that have that expectation for themselves. That's why, like I said, it just feels like this year they all look around the room and go, we all know what the goal is. We are trying to win the whole damn thing. Let's go do it.
What other message can there be when the coach that led you to the conference final for the first time in 25 years gets let go?
Yep.
It's like, we're not going to be satisfied with this. We want to do better. Now, I think you need to reassess once you get to the finals, but I think the expectation going in was we should be able to get through 3 rounds and get to our first final since '99. Mike Brown said or talked about the players making sacrifices.
I feel like we have a group of selfless individuals, and you just got to go do whatever it takes to win. And what I mean by that is if you're not getting a lot of shots, go offensive rebound, cut the score, run in transition, get a stop. There are plenty of ways that you can impact the game besides scoring, and that's the most obvious way to sacrifice for your team is continue to try to find ways to help in little areas. And some of them may not even show up in the stat sheet, but trying to find those ways and embrace them and do them at the highest of high levels to help your team win.
See, what I like about Mike is that he's talking like somebody who's been there, right? Like he
has.
That's what I mean. Like, yeah. And you've got a bunch of players that haven't. And no offense to Thibodeau, he wasn't there either. So Mike can talk like, hey, guys, this is what we need to do. And it's not talking out of your rear end of just reading from a script. No, he's been there. He knows it. He knows what it takes to do. And he's talking like that. That's why you bring in a guy like Mike Brown, right? And I know he wasn't the first choice. I get that. But at the end of the day, he was a choice, and he does have experience, and they're going to need that experience to make the run. You were talking about Josh Hart and about kind of paraphrasing what he said about the season series. Here's specifically what Hart said about or asked, do you put any stock in the season series with the Hawks?
None. I mean, I think we played them 3 times. Cat didn't play in, I think, 2. I didn't play in 2, or Cat didn't play in 1, something like that. They had guys out. The regular season honestly doesn't really matter when you look at it in terms of a scope like this, because you never know. Regular season, there's a lot of things that you have no idea. I don't know if they were back-to-backs, who's in, who's out, whatever it is. So you throw those out the window. and you just focus on the team, the personnel that they have right now. Like I said, the tendencies, what they like to do, hone in on those kind of things and move forward with that.
Does that bother you, Don?
No, I love it. No, I love it. That's what I was trying to say.
You've been saying it.
Listen, take anything you want. You know, you need whatever measuring stick you need. You felt that it was important to go out there and beat the Celtics, that it meant something to beat Boston. And I just say, listen, at the end of the day, you're 0-0, and there's no excuses now. Atlanta didn't come in from a road trip. They're not playing their third game in 4 nights. You know, the only teams that aren't really even are the play-in teams. They're going to go in to take on the 1 seeds because there is a discrepancy in the schedule and the time and the rest. But right now, 3 versus 6, that's it. It's all even.
Now, isn't it funny? Isn't it just crazy, guys? Think about how different the conversation would be on this Friday heading into this series if Trae Young hadn't been dealt to Washington.
Yeah, it's so true.
Changes the series feel completely.
Right, because there is that sense of, A, a villain, B, a guy that beat you, right, in that series. You know what?
But would they be here if they didn't make the deal?
Who knows? There's that part.
Fantastic question, and my answer is no. My answer is no. But how about this? So they played each other 5 years ago in the first round, 2021. The first year they made the playoffs. Isn't that amazing? The first year they made the playoffs since 2013, right? How many players on both rosters were on the rosters in that series?
God, just looking at the Knicks, is there?
Well, who would be? Is there one Nick?
There's one Nick who was on the roster. He did not play in the series.
There's one Nick who was on the roster who didn't play in the series.
Mitchell Robinson?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Great call, Don. Great work.
Yeah, he's the longest tenured Nick.
The big hint was he didn't play in the series.
He didn't play. Yeah,
right. At that time, that was Mitch's MO at that time.
And on the Hawks, there's only one guy.
Who is it? Kevin Willis.
Stacey
Ogman.
Might as well be.
Hit strange. There you go. Stacey Ogman on the Hawks.
Stacey Ogman's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's not a strange pull when it comes to college basketball. But
no,
NBA,
but for the pros, that's
a good one. Onyeka Okongwu.
Oh,
sure.
And he played in 5 games. He played like a total of 30 minutes in the whole series. He's now their starting center. But at the time, he was a kid.
It's a blink ago that this was a rivalry with like energy behind it and like passion. Trae Young was at MSG for WWE trolling Knicks fans.
Yep.
Like that's how big it was. And instead he's gone. And this is just a random matchup with the Hawks.
And the mayor, I know your friend, made a weird, awkward joke saying it's all Trae Young's, it's always Trae Young's fault. And it was like, did anybody tell him that he's not on the team anymore?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, like he made the joke and everybody reacted to it because, mayors have to do corny, awkward jokes.
Yes.
And
it's
obligatory.
But his joke was like,
no, can I tell you the truth, though?
Didn't tell you the dude's not on the team?
Because here's the thing. Can I be fair for a second?
Yeah, of course.
I cannot begrudge, given Mamdani's last 6 months to a year, him missing Trae Young getting dealt to the Wizards.
I
totally get it.
Someone
had to tell him.
Somebody's
Trae Young.
like, hey, if you're going to make a joke, just
so you know, he's
Trae
gone.
Young's on the team.
He's like, well, who else am I supposed to name?
Yeah, because
we don't know anybody else.
Yeah, just don't go there. Just be careful and don't go there.
Well,
they can't. Listen. You got to ask. We have to ask politicians about their sports opinions.
Mm-hmm.
We have to know.
Well, he's planted his flag with the Mets, and that's ticked off a few.
Well, I think that was his lifelong flag. I don't think that was a political plan. He's from Queens, right? I think
at least it's a New York team. We know this.
But will he pull a Giuliani, and will he stick with the Mets, or is he going to jump on the Yankee bandwagon if they're the only team that makes the playoffs?
Wait, is that what Giuliani did?
Giuliani never. He was all Yankees. He never made any qualms. I don't think he openly hated the Mets per se.
But he openly
it wasn't like he was
for
sitting
the
there. He wasn't on the front row at Shea Stadium wearing a Met hat. Although there wasn't any time where the Mets were in the playoffs and the Yankees weren't, I think, during his tenure as mayor.
So Bloomberg was the mayor for the Subway Series, right?
In 2000, yes,
right?
I believe
Wouldn't that be
so.
Bloomberg? Yeah. So Giuliani never was put into a position as mayor to have to make.
But
that
I
choice, right?
always believed that he would have sided with the Yankees, and I was fine with that because he declared.
Isn't that the right thing?
Yeah.
So if Mamdani is that a Mets fan, stay there. You don't have to cater to Yankees fans. Don't do it.
I'm confident. I could be wrong. It would be very not him to waffle on that. He's not a big waffler. He's many things. He's not a big waffler. He has to stick with the Mets, which by the way, we'll get into it more later, is getting harder by the hour.
Yeah. That is true.
I also, I don't know if you guys saw this. There was a thing going around yesterday that new WWE superstar who everyone's kid is in love with, Danhausen, had uncursed the Mets. That was believed to have happened 2 days ago.
That did not work.
The unfortunate news is yes. By the way, which of you is working at a department store? And who's on line 6?
Not me.
Yeah, I forgot to mute. And somehow a home phone we never use, ever.
The old
I'm talking
phone.
about never use. Somebody decided to call.
Right now. That is
honestly, I think even the phone's like, wait, what?
What?
Yeah.
I forgot how to ring.
Even the phone was unsure what to do.
The phone is like a character in Beauty and the Beast, and it's like, hold on a second, I got to answer. But then Danhausen, the other bit of good news is Danhausen went on First Take today, where he cursed Stephen A. Smith and the Knicks. The good news again, though, is I don't think the Danhausen curses are working out one way or the other.
No,
So,
if it goes the way it went for the Mets, I'll take it.
yeah, what's the yeah, exactly, not working. What's the Mets score as we speak?
Mets are down 6-3 in the top of the fourth.
All right.
And that's why we are on app only, because the Mets are going to be on 880, so we'll be on 880 a little bit later on. You can watch us on YouTube. You can consume us that way as well.
Sure.
Also want to let you know tomorrow the Mets are also a 220 vehicle. So with the Knicks being at 6, they've got a special 1-hour pre that will start on 1050. If the Mets are still going, you can go to 1050 and listen to the hour-long pregame show. By 6 o'clock, I believe, the Mets will be done, and you can listen to the Knicks on 880. But if you want to consume Pat O'Keefe and the pregame at 5, that'll be on 1050. Also want to let you know that coverage of the Knicks-Hawks round 1, pregame on MSG, will begin at 5 o'clock tomorrow. So you get ready for everything. And all postseason long, you'll be able to get pre- and post-game shows when the Knicks play. So the game's on Prime, but you can pop it on MSG to watch Alan Hahn, Wally Zerbiak, Bill Pito, everybody giving you coverage beginning at 5 o'clock, special 60-minute pregame show, followed by a 60-minute postgame. Once the game is final, Bill Pito, Alan Hahn, Wally Zerbiak, all will be in studio. Alex Monaco will be on the street interviewing fans. Monica McNutt and Tyler Murray will join throughout. So tune in Saturday, 5 p.m. for pregame coverage of Hawks and Knicks.
And I'm jumping in half times on the radio broadcast.
Really?
Yes.
They've got a name for you.
Here we go.
It's what is that name?
Well, it rhymes with war.
Lonely Clapper.
So you're kind of throwing yourself all over the place. Pre-game on TV, post-game on TV.
I'm offering,
it's like you're trying to find a vein. I get it, buddy. You want your Knicks. You want the Knicks in you.
Hey, listen, I can't say it. Wow. I wouldn't frame it that way.
I'm trying to be a good team player here.
No, I also can't say anything. I think I've done 6 ESPN appearances pumping WrestleMania this week.
You have.
So I am not going to say word one, Alan. You get out there and you get your Knicks. This is your time, baby.
Get your Knicks fix.
That's right. That's
be
what
in,
exactly
be in them. Be one with them.
And also be one with us Monday.
That's right.
Right? The block party right outside the building, as we say. That's what we were doing all last year.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. We'll be there
one
Monday,
of many, guys.
Starting at 3. And, yes, hopefully this is one of many.
All right. We got calls lined up, 1-800-919-3776. How you feeling about the Knicks? Also, Fraud Alert Friday at 4:30.
Oh,
we gotta line that up.
And when we come back, I have a story for you guys.
Oh, I want to hear the
story time.
I have it in the wild for you guys that I believe, if everyone's being honest, will give full movement for Alan, Don, and certainly Anthony. I think maybe Jake too, but you 3 for sure.
How about so that's coming up next?
Why not? I want to be able to celebrate it throughout the day.
And calls as well.
ENN live from Vegas at 6. Take you right up till 7 o'clock. It's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Nothing like the Friday before the Knicks postseason begins on ESPN New York.
The Knicks.
It's great to be in this position, but it doesn't really mean anything because at the end of the day, when you get in the playoffs, you got to find a way to win 4 of those 7.
The Hawks.
Atlanta's a good team. They're a good team. Everybody's good, especially at this time of the year.
The NBA playoffs.
You are better than Atlanta. Period. Stop. You should go out and you should beat Atlanta. And it should not be one of these extended series either.
No, you should beat them in 5.
You should.
Game 1 coverage begins Saturday at 5 on 880, 1050, and the ESPN New York app.
The NBA moves fast, and the stars move faster. With DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, you're never a step behind. DraftKings keeps pace with every play, offering industry-leading live betting, dynamic odds that shift as the game unfolds, and more open markets more often. They're live when others aren't, so you're always in the game when it matters most. Get in on the action with live player props as the most exciting performances unfold in real time. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WHSQ. That's code WHSQ. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problems gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply.
New year, new season, same goal. Feel good and stay in the game. But if neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica is holding you back, it's time to handle it. I'm Bart Scott, and I'm telling you to call Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain. Dr. Shaw is an Ivy League trained, double board certified, and he specializes in getting people back to living pain-free. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided treatments that work. Same-day or next-day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Stop playing through pain. Go to SandwellPain.com. Relief starts today.
The New York City Department of Correction offers countless career opportunities, from specialized units to leadership roles that support public safety and change lives for the better. It starts with one step: registering for the New York City Correction Officer exam. Earn over $109,000 after just 5.5 years. Benefits on day one, job security, pension at any age after 22 years of service. Go to nyc.gov/joinDOC or search Join DOC. One career, many opportunities. Register today to take the test.
If you're trying to save money but still eat well, just go to Wild Fork Foods and thank me later. You get pork tenderloin for $2.50 a pound, ground turkey for $3 a pound, ground chorizo for only $4 a pound. Those are everyday staples at serious value, and it's all blast frozen, so you're not sacrificing quality. Plus, they've got over 450 options, 7 locations, or same-day delivery at wildforkfoods.com. Go check out Wild Fork Foods.
Hi, this is Chevy, managing partner at Precision Solar. If you're looking at solar in New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut, here's what actually matters. Real numbers, honest answers, and a team that handles everything. We manage the entire process from start to finish. Designs, approvals, installation, and even a brand new roof if you need one. We don't sell you more than your home actually needs. Just smart systems designed for long-term savings and predictable energy costs. Visit PrecisionSolar.com to schedule your free home assessment. Precision Solar, built to perform for decades.
Now it's time for traffic and Susie Cerrone.
Hey there, guys. Good Friday afternoon. Busy already in the Bronx. A crash on the Bruckner south at 149th Street has the right lane out. And there's one on the Bronx River Parkway south and at Boston Post Road. That is in the right lane as well. Horrible on the Cross Bronx westbound to the outbound George. The Belt westbound an hour to go from Rockaway Parkway to the Verrazano. A little slow on the inbound George Upper Deck. It's right lane road work till 4:30 this afternoon. And we're sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, at the forefront of care and research for over 50 years. Learn more at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Susie Cerrone for 880 ESPN New York.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Evan Cohen here. In life, as in sports, the pros make it look easy. That's why pro golfers like Jason Day, Ben Griffin, and Patton Kazire trust the pros in lawn care. True Green. They have the experience and expertise to give you a lawn worthy of the PGA Tour. And since True Green does the work for you, you get more free time, or more tee times. So stop stressing over your lawn and start loving it. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com because nobody makes it easier to get a golf course quality lawn than True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
All right, let's line up the calls. And while we're doing that at 1-800-919-3776, Peter is guaranteed movement. And when you guarantee movement, we don't wait. We don't wait for movement.
I'm going to lean back for this one.
I believe.
Like yesterday?
Not as bad as yesterday.
You just had your forehead in the picture?
That was crazy.
I got
That
more
was
sleep
nuts.
today. Yeah.
All right. So last night here in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand, place I've been many times, but it's different this year. It's WrestleMania time, and I had a little bit of time. So myself and my colleagues, Corey Graves and Jackie Redmond, went to grab a bite and here in the casino. And then my manager, Dipperstein, joined us, and the four of us were hanging out at this little restaurant, Nelly's, here in MGM, chatting it up, having an adult beverage like a gentleman is supposed to when he has a free night. And as we're chatting about different things, Jackie says to me that I'm gonna alter the story to make it work the right way. Jackie says to me that she has a friend who should meet up with us, and tells me who this person is. And she's like, yeah, I think he's actually here, like at the MGM. What do you think? Should we hang out? And I said, yeah, I absolutely think so. And I said to Corey Graves, knowing what his interests are in the world of sports, I said, Graves, I think you're going to want to stay and hang out. He's like, nah, I'm calling it a night. I have SmackDown tomorrow. I got so much stuff. I said, I think you're going to want to hang out. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm done. I'm telling you I'm not going to want to hang out. I said, all right, cool. And then we sat there, and 2 minutes later, Wayne Gretzky appeared at our table.
Drop! When you said Jackie, I was thinking, all right, this is going to be a hockey legend.
Epic.
This is exactly how I met Wayne Gretzky.
He did not buy me a hamburger, Don.
No?
He did not. I'm sure he would have. He instead invited us to hang out with him. He was staying at a place here that I almost feel like I can't even talk about, even though I'm sure it's on some level known. I won't give too many details. There's a way to stay here at the MGM.
All right, I think, Peter, you could say it. You want to know why? He's in the commercials. So
what is he?
He's in BetMGM commercials with McDavid. So
no. But where he stays is it's a place that none of us would have the option of staying.
Okay.
You can't go on Expedia.
It's a residence.
It's a whole thing, guys. He told us where to go. I meet him. I shake his hand. Lovely. Jackie introduces us to him. I didn't, and I'm honestly mostly just looking at Graves. So Graves and I, we bond because he's from Pittsburgh over the Penguins. He's a huge hockey fan though overall. And Graves also does not suffer fools. He does not really freak out to meet people. It's kind of his way. His jaw was on the floor. It was like Gretzky is at such a level that to see someone who's a hockey fan, to see their face when the
Dwayne
great
Gretzky
one, it makes no sense. So we ended up going to the residence area where he's staying, and as it turned out, we didn't get to hang out with him more. I'll explain that part later. But the point is, he's staying in this place, guys. It's these villas, these hidden villas inside the MGM that are the craziest place you've ever seen in your life. And it just so happened there was also a street fighter party happening there. So Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Andrew Schultz, I don't know if Jason Momoa was there, but all the cast of Street Fighter was there as well. Anyways, that's it. That's my story. Got to meet Wayne Gretzky,
epic.
and I thought it was pretty great.
That's awesome.
And the way when you said, come hang out with you, Wayne Gretzky. We're not worthy.
We're not worthy.
Yeah, hang out.
Come and
ya.
hang out with
Hang out
us.
with yous. Yeah.
No, he says "yus" because he's saying "you" and "us" at the same time, and he goes, "Yeah,
out with
come
yus.
out with yus,
Yes.
with Alice Cooper."
Oh man, listen.
That's no. You come
special.
across a legend like that, and especially as one that is as down to earth as him, and just he's chill, and will tell you stories upon
He
stories.
walked
upon
over to us
stories.
by himself, guys.
Yeah.
He wasn't close. The high stakes area, where his area, basically where he's staying, it's like near the high stakes area. You find like a trick door, and that it wasn't that close. And like he didn't even bring like his wife or anyone with him. He just wandered over by himself.
And you know what? He's as approachable a superstar as I've ever seen. And you could say, well, maybe he did that because it's Vegas, and maybe he's not as recognizable. Which I think Wayne Gretzky is recognizable anywhere.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But the night that I met him was in Toronto. All right, so he could have had wings and just flown around the city, right?
Yeah.
And yet people would come up to him, ask for a picture, and he was just so nice and so accommodating. So it wasn't – he's just always that way. If he's like that in Vegas, he's like that in Toronto, like anywhere. He is as approachable a superstar as you're ever going to see.
He also really loves – it's funny. That's like Jackie's other life. So, I'm like her friend like that here at WWE. And then her friend like that who does the same kind of job at TNT is, Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's cool.
Pretty crazy.
I'm glad you're having a good time.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
And hopefully,
haven't seen your brother yet. I did my radio show today yet, but he was off because they have their big party tonight. They're doing a live show and party, so I have not gotten to see your brother yet.
How much money are you coming back with?
I haven't spent anything. I'm not going to gain anything, but I haven't spent anything either.
Are you a big gambler?
No.
Yeah.
Now, am I tempted to maybe throw a little on the basketball? Sure, but I won't have time to sit around and watch it. So that's like the fun part is if you're going to do it, I want to go to the book. I want to place the bet. I want to grab a beer and sit in the book. I'm so busy that it's like...
No, it's crazy.
And
so
now you
proud
can
of
bet
my
from
brother.
home. It doesn't hit the same. That's the hard part.
No, you're right.
It doesn't.
Sports betting doesn't
betting
hit the
being
same.
everywhere doesn't hit the same.
But being at a table is still being at a table in Vegas, right?
That's right.
Like
I just imagine how
even if it's for a few minutes.
How busy David must be in Vegas. I know he left Wednesday. And that's when you left, right?
Yeah, Wednesday night.
So and he's probably been busy. But this is the first. I guess this would. Well, it's WrestleMania. It isn't any bigger than that. To have this kind of event. The first one with the channel. I know he's had other events, but this is the big one. This is the Super Bowl. So
that's right. Yeah, because so when I did my live show for them today, the pro wrestling channel that your brother helped launch comes from his loins, busted open and evolved into a channel. Our first big event we did was SummerSlam last year. So, yeah, this is the first Mania where the whole channel exists. So it was cool to be down there. I did a live show. I interviewed a bunch of people, including Shawn Michaels. It was pretty neat, man.
Since we've got these two worlds of wrestling and basketball kind of colliding, let's have our first call at 1-800-919-3776 on a Fraud Alert Friday. Be Pete in Brooklyn. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Pete?
Hey, guys. What's up?
What do you got today?
Hey, buddy.
Can you hear me?
Oh, sure.
Hey, long time no see, boys. Alan, tomorrow is Knicks playoff game 1. Peter, tomorrow is WrestleMania night 1. If I miss either one, am I a fraud? Don, I know you have the gavel here.
Well, I mean, how big a wrestling fan are you?
That's the question.
Really huge, just like I'm a really huge Knicks fan, and I don't know what the hell to do.
But one's got to be bigger than the other.
Can I just tell you my thought, and you tell me how you feel? If you are a huge Knicks fan and you are a huge wrestling fan, if we're being honest, if this season goes any way it's supposed to go, one game of the Hawks series is not the equivalent to what WrestleMania is on the wrestling calendar. It's much lower down. I think you do big TV screen with volume is WrestleMania, and computer screen is the Knicks game. How do you guys feel?
And also, I don't think when's the first match tomorrow?
No, same time, 6:00.
But I gotta believe though there's still a lot of wrestling to consume after the Knick game is over.
Game will be over by no later than 8:30.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's you're missing 2/3, almost 3/4 of WrestleMania.
You can always go back and watch it.
But listen, if he is as big a wrestling fan as he is a Knick fan, well, then the WrestleMania is bigger.
Right. It's our main thing of the whole year. For the Knicks, it's game 1 of a first series. It's not equal.
I have to lay out because I don't get the comp.
But I don't get wrestling either. But I
don't
get
the
passion. I get when people
of course. That's why I don't want to say anything.
There's no equivalent.
I can't relate to it
because you shut down everything when the Super Bowl is being played. But if for some reason you were a huge Giant fan and Knick fan, right? And for some reason the Giants were playing in the Super Bowl and the Knicks were playing, game 1 of a playoff series, that would never happen. Right. But I would think if you were equal, you would watch the Giants over the Knicks. Because it's one and
you
done.
Had a good comp. Anthony, you had a comp to throw at Alan that he might understand more.
All right, Alan, NBA Finals Game 1 or Yankees-Red Sox series in June? What are you watching?
When is a regular season game?
All right.
This is the start of a playoff
But it's
run.
the biggest rivalry. People think it's the biggest rivalry in sports.
Yeah,
so you're talking about these are must-watch games.
No.
But they're happening at the same time. You got to have something that's happening at the same time.
Right, and it's not a
regular
Finals
season
game.
though. This is WrestleMania Super Bowl. This is you can't do regular season. That's not a comp.
All right, what about this? And you're not working, Alan. Okay? You're not doing Knicks anymore.
Which would be rare.
Just
okay.
a fan. You're just a fan.
Okay.
Knicks Game 7 of a playoff series.
Of a series, okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Islanders Game 1.
I mean, obviously, the Game 7.
Right. I mean, and that's what we're looking at, obviously, here. It's WrestleMania. All right, we may not get it, but to wrestling fans, WrestleMania is like the Super Bowl, Game
and it's
7.
a spoiler
it's
thing,
a big
too,
deal.
like sports, where like
right,
it has the sports
social media
component.
will ruin it for you, and you can't DVR it. And so if you were equal Knicks and wrestling fan, then it's got to be WrestleMania.
Okay.
I think but the beauty is you
if
go
it starts
big screen.
at 6, then here's what he does. Watch the pregame show from 5 until 6.
On MSG. Well,
then you watch your WrestleMania, and then you come back and watch the postgame show.
No, he can't do that because he has to watch me on the WrestleMania Countdown show from 5 to 6.
So we're taking liberties here, guys.
This is tough.
No, listen,
How about
I'm not a big
both
wrestling
screens?
fan, but I have watched wrestling. All right, I've consumed it.
Same.
I think you can do both at the same time. Honestly.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well.
Yeah,
That's
the answer.
The beauty of the modern era.
I'll be watching Bob Wischusen on Stars Wild. I don't know about you guys.
There you go.
Yeah, this guy, right?
Well, we have to multitask. This time of year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what do you do?
You got so much going on. I mean, this is why whoever said April is so huge, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get a day like you get tomorrow, where NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, and WrestleMania go on. There's a lot. Listen, how often can you watch the Mets lose? At this particular point of the season, about 75% of the time. But you don't know. It can change at any moment.
One time they might win.
All right,
isn't it
McLean?
Call. Isn't it McLean tomorrow?
No, well, McLean was.
It's
Tuesday,
Peralta.
Thursday,
tomorrow.
Friday, Saturday,
Peralta.
Sunday. Does it matter if you don't score? And then they have 3 runs today, but they've given up 7.
Is that a lot?
They're down 7-3 in the.
Well,
the top.
though, Don, positively, they've played them even after giving them a 4-run.
Oh, sure.
spot.
Wait, hey, listen, you spot them 4, and I think Steve Cohen tweeted earlier, if we had scored 4 runs in the top of the first inning, we'd be tied.
Green shoots.
But unfortunately, they didn't score. So listen, we've got calls coming up at 1-800-919-3776. If you like putting lit cigarettes out in your palm, go to 880 and you can listen to the Mets and the Cubs. We've got Fraud Alert Friday coming up at 4:30. We've got ENN coming up at 6.
Yeah.
It's Don Hahn Rosenberg until 7 here on ESPN New York.
NBA fans, listen up. You can enter FanDuel's Play-In Palooza for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets every day of the Play-In tournament. All you have to do is place a live bet using your Play-In Palooza token. Then you'll automatically be entered for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. So don't just watch the NBA Play-In tournament from the sidelines. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get into the action. And don't forget to enter FanDuel Play in Palooza. All you have to do is place a live bet using your Play in Palooza token for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Limit one entry. Profit boost bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost token. Prize is issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467369.
It feels like everyone's sick right now. You aren't imagining it. Doctors say this is the worst cold and flu season in 25 years, and it's not over. I was just traveling. It was like everyone around me was coughing, sneezing, and sick. I can't afford to get sick, and I doubt you can either. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. Having a medical emergency kit is like having urgent care and pharmacy right in your home. It includes essential prescriptions like generic Z-Pak to help you get well faster, plus important antibiotics to treat pneumonia, strep throat, sinus and ear infections, nausea, even UTIs, and many more common and serious illnesses. It's your kit the moment you need it. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. It's genius. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. I can save you $45 when you use my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. Again, save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
25 a month, 5 whole years, same sweet number in your ears. Check it in a year, check it in 5. This ain't optimum 5, but price is still alive. 25 a month, 5 whole years, same sweet number in your ears. Get Optimum famously fast fiber internet. Optimum.com/25 for 5. Or call 8884-OPTIMUM. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
We all know winning means showing up stronger, faster, better than before. And when you're chasing that edge, The Drop by GNC cuts through the noise, bringing you the best new innovations in sports nutrition and performance. From muscle building and strength support to improved recovery and focus, we curate the newest drops from GNC Amp, Pro Performance, and Mega Men. Plus, Ghost, Raw Nutrition, Bucked Up, and the top new brands changing the game. No guesswork, just leveling up. Check out The Drop by GNC for what's new, what works, and what's next.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I am grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
NBA fans don't just watch the game, they live it. So stream like you're courtside with NBA League Pass, your ticket to all the action. Watch your favorite team shine and catch the league's brightest stars and rising stars at the same time with multi-view on your favorite devices. From the plays you can't believe to the most live games and the drama that comes with it. If it happens on the court, it's happening on NBA League Pass.
Only select out-of-market games available. Blackout restrictions apply. Additional charges and other conditions may apply. Visit NBA.com/subscriber agreement for full terms and conditions.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Rings End is your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. They're your store for quality with a full line of brilliant and durable Benjamin Moore paints. They're your store for inspiration with thousands of colors and a variety of sheens. And Rings End is your store for expertise with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. Insist on Benjamin Moore paint from Rings End because the gorgeous color you love can't be matched in another brand of paint.
I got a question to ask Alan coming up to start the 4 o'clock hour that I think would be very, very important when it comes to the Knicks-Hawks. That is the topic of conversation right now. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg until 7 o'clock. So let's get to those busy phones at 1-800-919-3776 and talk to Manny in Flushing. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Manny?
Good morning. Good afternoon, guys. How y'all doing?
Good. And you?
Good. I'm good, man. Thank you for asking. Tomorrow's a big night. Game 1, Hawks Knicks. I can't wait. Listen, I just hope it's going to be a very good series. I hope the Knicks will beat the Hawks, regardless if it's 6-7 or even a sweep. I just want the Knicks to beat them to get this over because I don't want to have a negative energy. I want a positive energy. And also this, other sides besides the Knicks and the Hawks. Which series is the most you really want to delve in, other than the Knicks and Hawks? Which series?
It would be
to me. It'd be out west.
Yeah, Denver, Minnesota.
Yeah,
they've had some wars.
What about Boston and Philly?
It sounds sexy.
It's not,
but it's really not.
Yeah, it's got nice history to it, but this is not going to be Dr. J versus Charles Barkley now.
But it's two big basketball markets and all that. But it's not.
The backcourt of the Sixers is fast. They're good. Paul George has got a little something left in the tank, clearly, but they don't have much of a bench. And Boston should run them.
Give me
easily.
LeBron versus KD in a first-round matchup.
If
That's
only
fun.
Luka was if Luka was healthy, or if he comes back that series. Here's the weird thing: the Lakers are the 4th seed, so they have the home. Court advantage, and yet it's almost like, can they steal a game 1 at home
without
and just
Luka?
Extend the series enough that Luka might be able to return at some point with the hamstring? Then that gets a little more juice to it. But you're right. It might be, and if you think about the wars that these two have had in the playoffs in the past, it might be the last time we see, LeBron versus KD in a playoff series. So these are one of those, hey, watch it and enjoy it while you can.
No, the sexy matchups are definitely out west.
Yep.
Let's go to Griffin in Connecticut. You're on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
Hey, guys. I have a question for all of you. But before I have that question, Alan, as a basketball fan, and just knowing a lot about basketball, I think the important thing for the Knicks this playoffs, and especially the series, is Cat. He has to be very consistent. He can't be inconsistent Cat if they want to have a chance to make the NBA Finals. He has to be strong, and he has to be strong right away tomorrow. Do you
You're
agree?
absolutely right. No, 100% right. Brunson is obviously your best player. Towns is your most important player in every series you're going to play, including this one, maybe more this one than any other, because the Hawks don't have a lot of size. He should dominate this series, and the fact that we saw them run a lot of pick and roll with him, getting him involved in the game early, that seemed to, get him locked in. Remember when I did the walk-off with him, and I asked him, what's different about you? And he says, well, I'm engaged. He said, everybody, obviously knew what he meant is that he proposed to his fiancée on Christmas Eve, and he's happy in life that he's engaged to this beautiful woman named Jordan Woods. But because he said, I'm engaged, I kind of laughed because I figured it's like, he's kind of telling us two things here. Yeah, sure, you put a ring on it, but you also are literally engaged more on the court, which has made you a better player. So that we have to see continue. You're 100% right, Griff.
My question for you guys, we have two big hockey guys, two big NBA final guys that are on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your final picks. Peter and Alan that are big NBA, and then Anthony and then Don that are big NHL.
Can I be involved in the NHL one too?
Sure.
I'm a big NHL guy.
No, Griff didn't ask, Alan.
Yeah, he didn't ask me. I'm a big NHL guy.
All right, go ahead, Peter. What is your NBA final matchup?
Oh, man. This is challenging because of like what I would, I have mixed feelings. I have a lot of mixed feelings.
Well, it's what do you want or what do you expect are two different things, right?
Well, listen, I'll tell you the truth. I believe the Boston Celtics are representing the East in the finals. I do.
Yeah.
The question for me is it OKC or San Antonio?
Mm.
And I'm going to have some fun. And I think we're going to get to see the kid, Wemby,
in
the finals against the Boston Celtics. I think it's going to be a great, great moment for the
That
NBA.
would be something.
That would be huge, literally. So the series I want in the finals is Knicks-Spurs. For all the reasons you're talking about on the Spurs side of things, and obviously I think for the league, especially having Wemby there and the Knicks for the first time in 25, like it would be such a cool story. So I look at that. But what do I expect? I expect Boston and the Thunder. That's what I expect. The Celtics and the Thunder have been the two most steadiest, consistently good teams all year. And the previous two champions as well. That's what I would expect.
And
Don,
what's your
Stanley Cup final?
Yeah.
Oh, you want mine first?
Yeah, sure. Since the floor is yours.
Yeah. Well, I said it the other day. I Tampa and Colorado just feels like that's where we're headed.
I just
and
can't
Colorado
have.
Probably getting the cup.
Listen, Tampa's a good pick. I just can't have 7 straight years of the Stanley Cup final being in Florida, okay?
Yeah, I know.
3 with Tampa, 3 with Florida, and then back to Tampa again. Okay, you know Florida's going to go back next year because, mark my words, they're going to win the lottery. Colorado's coming out of the West. I can't see anything else. I had said Carolina, I guess, earlier in the week, but we did the bracket as a show. I filled it out a little while ago. And this is my heart talking, but they've flown under the radar all year, and they've got 2 of the big superstars in the league that nobody talks about, the Montreal Canadiens. And think about the symmetry here.
Wow.
The old Nordiques going up against Les Habitants, that would be –
Oh, wow.
And my heart's talking. My heart's throbbing as I'm bringing it up. But that would be something.
What else?
Suzuki's so underrated. Caulfield had 50 goals this year. I've got
Marty St. Louis. Come on, this is great. I love this.
Listen, I got him beating Tampa in the first round. I got Ottawa making a run here, and then Ottawa taking on Montreal in the conference final. So I got a lot going on here.
Montreal, Ottawa.
Yeah, Ottawa's sneaky good. Allmark is a really good goaltender. We've seen Brady Tkachuk in the Frozen Four. I mean the Four Nations.
Four Nations.
That's a sneaky, sneaky team. Batherson, Stützle. Again, not big names, but they could be sneaky. So that's going to really blow up the East.
If it's Ottawa that ends the drought, could you imagine?
I
like
crazy.
that. I might root for that.
But thank you, Griff. That was really good. We got that stirred up. I got a question. What's that?
Anthony.
Oh, Anthony. Oh, yeah. Anthony's disgusted with himself.
I am disgusted. Look. Right now, the bracket that I have, and I'm going to retweet it again if you want to do the bracket challenge on ESPN.
Zach and Callie are doing one right now as we speak.
ESPN's Playoff Hockey Challenge. You could search ESPN New York DHR Bracket Challenge if you're on the app, but I did tweet it out. I know everybody doesn't like Twitter, but it is what it is. It's where I can get it. Right now, my bracket after last night when all the games went final is Colorado and Tampa. I think Carolina will have something to say about that because they have much better goaltending this year. What my dream would be is actually I'd agree with Richard to see Torts take Vegas to the final and have RJ thrilled that Buffalo makes it to the final. A Vegas-Buffalo final would probably not make the NHL happy, but I would love to see it. I think it would be cool.
But yeah, you're right. Great stories. Great stories.
Yeah. So
okay,
I'd have
nicely done.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. It should be, and it's going to be a long time too. It's going to be a long time before we find out whether we're right or wrong. I got a question for Alan coming up next. Okay. At 4:30, we got Fraud Alert Friday. 6 o'clock, we get ENN. Mets trying to climb back into this game with the Cubs. They get runners at the corners with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning, down 7-3. It's all happening right here on ESPN New York.
Gold and silver prices are soaring and near all-time highs. If you want to get cash in your hands for your old jewelry, Now is the time. Get the most competitive prices at the Estates Roadshow. Old rings, chains, and even broken jewelry. Don't wait. Cash in while gold and silver are hot. 4 locations this week: Paramus, Staten Island, Old Bridge, and Toms River. Bring your gold, silver, coins, diamonds, and watches. Even broken pieces, and get cash on the spot. There's never been a better time to sell. No appointments, no fees, no pressure. Just friendly, professional buyers with over 35 years in the business. Go to the Estates Roadshow Monday through Friday in Paramus at the Courtyard by Marriott, Staten Island at the Hilton Garden Inn, and Friday through Tuesday in Old Bridge at TMT Cash for Gold. The bright yellow building on Route 9 South in Toms River, corner of Route 37 and Hooper Avenue. For more info, follow Estates Roadshow on Facebook or go to tmtcashforgold.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now, or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Evan Cohen here. Did you know the average employer sorts through about 250 resumes for one job opening? That's a lot of time reviewing applications. Well, if you're hiring, here's good news. You can now review resumes and applications faster thanks to ZipRecruiter. With ZipRecruiter's new feature, qualified candidates who are very interested in your job show up at the top of your list. No wonder ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site based on G2. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/sports. That's ZipRecruiter.com/sports.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson. And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Game time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it is game time...
Time.
Oh, yeah. Mets-Cubs going on right now. They're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Mets down 7-3. Trying to avoid a 9-game losing streak.
So I guess the runners on the corners, nothing happened.
Yankees, no. Yankees start a series with the Royals. That's 7:05. Now, NBA play-in doubleheader is going to be on 880 later on after the Mets and Cubs. So you got that, too.
Fun games tonight.
Going on, yes. Absolutely. For the right to get slaughtered by the 1 seeds. But still, you never know.
Hey, it's elimination.
That's it. You got to be in it to lose it. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly.
Before you ask me, don't laugh at you got to be in it to lose it, Don. Here's why.
Okay.
For all you fans that think players would be willing to happily play in a tanking team and some kind of silly tournament to decide who wins the lottery and all that crap. Do you know how much a team gets to split just for making the playoffs?
I don't know. It would be just a guess, 40 grand each.
Yeah, I have no idea what that number is.
I'm giving you the total. You got to do the math. But $481,000 for the team to share amongst each other. Okay,
And that'd be 15 players between you and me, right?
I believe so, yes. So,
by the way, give it to
that's
charity.
It starts there. It starts there.
It's true.
Like for the Knicks, so the Knicks clinched the 3rd seed. Your team bonus for the 3rd seed is $471,000 on top of the $481,000 for just making the playoffs. So that's pretty good money just to make the playoffs versus being in the lottery. You know what you get? Early vacation. You get
I wasn't suggesting them wanting to be in the lottery. I was just saying that I don't give them a chance.
No, I know that. I'm just this
Detroit
is not for you. This was more for for people that were trying to convince me that players will play. They'll play for the lottery pick, and they're like, no, I'd rather play in the. I'd rather be swept than put a couple of grand in my pocket than play for a guy who's going to replace me.
But Peter makes a good point. Like, for the amount of money these guys make, I don't have a calculator in front of me, but just you round it off to 500,000, split by 15 people. It's not a lot of money. I don't think you think it's movement money, Peter?
I mean, for the 11th and 12th player, it's a nice little bonus.
Oh yeah, but for the lower end guys, it is, and for the superstars,
it's ashtray money.
It's one extra
give it
day
to the
on
trainer,
vacation.
right? I mean, that's what you do with it.
Whatever it
Maybe
is,
you don't give it to charity, but you're.
The point is that because of what the broadcast companies are paying for all this stuff, right? All these games and everything, the league still has to share some of that money with the players. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But in the end, think about this. Like if the Knicks went on a run and lost in the NBA Finals, they would have $6.4 million in playoff bonuses that they could share amongst each other. It's not terrible.
No, and you're right, because when you're talking about the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th player on the bench, that's something.
And winning the whole thing, they'd get almost $12 million.
Yeah.
So don't think for a second that this stuff doesn't matter and all. It still matters.
Now, tons of calls to get to, but I do have a question for you.
Go ahead.
All right.
Trae Young gone.
Yep.
He was public enemy number one when these two teams played 5 years ago. Who is the guy on the Hawks that if this becomes a series, if this series becomes a thing, that's public enemy number one?
It's a great question. I got two guys.
Okay.
The first one seems obvious. It's Dyson Daniel. He's the guy that is like the so-called Brunson stopper that Brunson has pretty much lit up every time he's played him. But because he's physical, defender, rangy, they call him the Great Barrier Thief. He's from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's a top defensive player in the league. He's one of the best. And he was the most improved player last year as well in the NBA. He gives you almost nothing offensively. Like he can't shoot threes. He's not going to create for himself. But you don't care about that because what he does with steals and deflections and how much trouble, because of his length, his height, athleticism, his job is to slow down Jalen Brunson. And I can see if it gets contentious because he's physical. He's not, he's not soft now. That I can see him becoming that kind of a villain, especially if he's having his way with Brunson, or if Brunson starts getting banged up because officials aren't making calls. Yeah, I could see him becoming a guy that fans are really going to get on. But the guy I'm watching more is Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's Shea's cousin. And he's another guy that was on Minnesota's teams, was a good player off the bench. He signs with the Hawks, and he's now become he averages 28 a game against the Knicks. He shoots threes. He'll talk to you. He's got that attitude about him. I don't know. He might be a guy that embraces that role if they are trying to steal a game at the Garden, and he'll do the quiet the crowd stuff. He'll do all that. So those are the two guys I would probably watch, but they'll come nowhere near the levels of Trae Young. I think Trae Young just looked the part, acted the part. It was just easy for him to be a villain. I don't know if you'll get anybody that level, but those are two guys that I think would piss off the fans at the Garden the most.
And at his best, you can't forget that between not only is it like the antics and the attitude, but at his best, when Trae Young is dialed in, I don't understand what happened in Atlanta, but at his best, when he's dialed in, he's also a killer.
Well, he definitely makes some crazy shots.
Yeah, he can
logo
stick a dagger
threes where he'll just He made that series, if you remember, once he got into this rhythm, he made a couple of logo threes that it was like, what the hell? But everybody will remember from that series a couple of years ago, those who were, really dialed into this stuff. There was it might have been the clinching game where Frank Ntilikina, if you remember, the draft pick that they made that never made sense. That was, thank you, Phil Jackson. All you had to do was just make sure he doesn't go right. Just don't go right. And Ntilikina let him go right, and Trae Young hit a, silencer against him. And all Ntilikina was supposed to – he's only known as a defender. He had one job. And let him hit that silencer, and that, and of course he didn't. He just shushed the crowd, the whole thing. He embraced villain more than anyone other than Reggie Miller that you can ever imagine. And now he's catching strays from the mayor.
Let's go to Matt in New Jersey. You're on ESPN New York. Hi, Matt. Matty Ice. The Matt Hatter.
Matty-O.
Dead.
Hello.
Blanderson Hooper, you're on ESPN New York. What's up, Blanderson?
Oh, no. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
How are you?
Hey, buddy. Hey.
Oh no! There's not going to be any mocking here or anything, Alan. This is just a regular call. No Southern accent. No nothing.
All right.
I want to talk about the Knicks, but before I do, you guys were talking about Gretzky before. I actually met Gretzky. It was either 87 or 88. I was 9 or 10 years old at Shea Stadium for a Met game, and he actually signed a baseball that I had gotten during batting practice, which I still have. So I'm probably one of the few baseballs out there signed by the great one. He was a really, really great guy. But I just want to throw that out there.
He's a big and the reason that kind of makes sense, he's a huge baseball fan. So that is pretty cool to have.
But isn't that like of the most unlikely places to meet Wayne Gretzky?
Right.
Shea Stadium in 1987.
Right. It's not like it was, when he was on the Rangers. No.
Right.
Just a random kind of thing.
Amazing.
Super.
As for the Knicks series, I'm with Peter in terms of a gentleman's sweep. The Hawks have a really good starting five. Like Griffin said, and I think you were talking about Allen before, obviously Cat needs to come up big. I think our size advantage is really big. The fact that they don't have Jock Landale for this series is huge. But I think the biggest area where we can pull away from them is the bench. But I don't necessarily – I'm not 100% fully confident. And, Alan, I just wanted to run this by you. So McBride had a big game the last game of the season. But before that, his shot hadn't really been falling since he came back. So that worries me a little bit. Shamet has not shot the same the last month of the season. He's been off.
Right.
I looked it up. He's played more minutes this year than he has in about five years or so. And, Mitch has played more minutes this year than in the last 2 years combined. And it seems like he comes out huge in the first half, like a whirling dervish, and he's insane. And then in the second half, there's a lot of hands on the knees, a lot of sucking air, not as effective. And so I'm just curious if you think that there's anything to worry about when it comes to the bench. It's clearly better than the Hawks. The Hawks don't really have a bench, truthfully.
They have a guy.
Aside from Kuminga.
Yeah, that's what I was going to –
Kuminga.
That's it. They have Kuminga. Kuminga's a guy you have to worry
Maybe
about.
Maybe Kispert, if he could get into rhythm.
If he comes,
do you think any of those –
You hope he comes in the game because you just eat him alive defensively. You hope they're going to – like him and Heald. Like if they're going that deep into the bench, then that means they're panicking. That means they're getting desperate. So if they go that deep into the bench, Gabe Vincent comes in, he's going to be a bulldog. Every now and then he can give you some offense. But it's Kuminga. Kuminga's the guy that you don't know what you're getting. You could get him, and he can give you a 20-point performance off the bench and just dominate one-on-ones, or he could take bad shots and shoot you out of a game and then complain that his knee hurts. He's been a weird pickup for them. He has not been consistent. But, I talked to Deuce. That game he had, the last game of the season, Sunday, he shot the ball well from three, and he said that he needed that. Like he just to get himself back into rhythm, and that game was important for him. He needed to feel that and see the ball go in. Clarkson's been good. But, yes, Shamet has not shot the ball well of late. He's got to get right. Very important piece. That's going to be key. And then the Mitchell Robinson stuff, with the height advantage and the size advantage you have, he needs to be big on the glass and defensively at the rim. But because Atlanta wants to play fast, that's the thing to watch, is does he have the conditioning to be able to do it?
Peter, what's more random, Wayne Gretzky signing a baseball or Randy Jackson signing a samurai sword?
It's got to be the samurai sword.
I think it's the samurai
sword. Anyone who's not a samurai, which would be random enough, but anyone who's not a samurai signing a samurai sword, that's the winner.
Well, and if you're a fan of Step Brothers, you'll follow what I
that's so. That, by the way, that scene is so good.
There's so many activities. Let's go to Spike in St. Pete. How are you, buddy?
Oh,
How's
we
it
love
going?
Spike.
Oh, I'm really ready for this. By the way, the scouts blew it with Jalen Johnson. He came out of Duke. If you look at his stats, he's 2 assists short of averaging a triple-double like Jokic did. And he's the main culprit. Their guards are tall. Allen's right, as usual, on Dyson Daniels. I think he shoots threes for 18%. The key here, the Walker kid, look, I watched 20 games of him this year. He scores 28 points. He probably doesn't get 3 assists a game. He's just a duck and chuck guy. He can penetrate a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We could. The thing here is they have more size in the backcourt. We should dominate on the boards. There's no question about it. And going back to Jalen Johnson, I think he was a 20th or 21st pick out of Duke. Well, he's probably 24 or 25 now. This kid made a leap, and Allen, with all the basketball we go through, who missed it? How do you?
Well, because you didn't see it. But you didn't see it. Nobody saw that in college. He didn't play like that. He didn't give you that in college. You give him credit. He came into the league. They played a certain way, and he's just started to show you the versatility. Like they don't have a point guard. He's kind of their point guard. Right. Yeah, he's kind of they play through him offensively. That's why C.J. McCollum. All he has to do is shoot threes. He doesn't have to play defense. He doesn't have to run the offense. He just catch and shoot.
You told me last week when CJ the shot came after the horn.
Yeah.
Probably take 100 of them. You're probably right on that, but it's just a debatable thing. When you're up 3, you wrap up on the other guy. But I really feel it's a 5-gamer, 6-gamer perhaps. Mitchell and Cat. I'm repeating myself because that's what I do. Mitchell and Cat should create a minimum of 10 additional possessions. And if Deuce is right, our guards are small, and I could see if someone gets lit up, one of the backcourt guys get lit up, they may use Alvarado. But whoever just said it, Shamet at 6'5", I don't care if he makes a basket or not. He's just put the ball on the deck, drive the ball, stop, pop, and then guard the guy in the backcourt. Yeah, I love it. But my finals thing, getting back to what you guys did, I put a few shekels down. I got 45-1 on the Knicks against the Nuggets. I think the odds alone were ridiculous because the Nuggets go. Yeah, Nuggets are sleepers. They got all the experience. They're healthy. Their best defensive player is back. Their coach has done a miraculous job, and most of the people won't know who it is. I give them credit while San Antonio's young,
You know who they'd have to play in the second round now.
I know, so what? They could play them. Look, Minnesota, and then this is the 3rd time in 4 years, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, it's enough already. And without casting aspersions, which I often say, I have no vendetta against Julius Randle, but his numbers in the playoffs come down. They just do.
Clearly.
Like to Paul George, like some of these other guys. But let's enjoy it, and let's get this thing over with. And then Peter and I could bang heads a little bit because I really think the Knicks match up against Boston. But I'm getting ahead of myself.
So much fun.
MSG, Alan, you made me smile today. Going through a lot of stuff. You know that, but I'll tell you, mate, when I heard there's a pre-post and halftime on MSG, it made me really happy.
Well, there you go. He'll be watching.
We're here to make you happy.
Have a great weekend, Spike. We really appreciate you calling. 1-800-919-3776. Denver's tough, though. Do they have the D to be able to get through those beasts? I give the Knicks way better odds to get to the finals than the Nuggets do.
to me, if they get past the Spurs in the second round, which I hate the matchup, but you see Jokic took it personal last time they played each other, kind of sent a message to Wemby. So that'll be I mean, again, this is all the things you root for as a fan. It's like, give me that series. Give me that, give me that Knicks-Celtics series. Give me Nuggets-Spurs. Like, can the Lakers survive and get healthy? Then give me Lakers-Thunder. If they can get Reeves and Luka back somehow, now all of a sudden you got something. But, I don't expect that. But that Nuggets-Spurs series in the second round, give me that. Give me 7.
I mean, that's not
Wemby,
from
Jokic?
not from like a name brand standpoint, from an actual player standpoint. That's the sexiest series.
Yeah, that's more. You're so right, Peter. That's a basketball matchup more than it is a marquee, casual fan matchup. But
from the basketball
you'd be drawn in to
standpoint,
watch it. Oh God,
give it to me.
All right, Matt in New Jersey is back. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Matt?
Hey guys, sorry about that. I was talking to the president.
Oh, okay. Listen,
well
that's
done.
more important.
He's a P1.
This is working and going. I'm enjoying where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
So I am a podcast listener. I'm a long-time listener. Haven't missed a minute since the soft open, first-time caller. And a couple of days ago, you were talking about cities hosting the World Cup, the Olympics, Super Bowl, things like that, cost versus benefit. And the subject that I was able to learn about a lot in a sports economics class that I was lucky enough to take with a sports economist who's pretty well-renowned. His name is Victor Matheson. And I just wanted to read off a couple of things that he has written just about the reality of the lack of cost. $70 billion was the predicted impact for the Brazilian Ministry of Sports when they hosted the World Cup.
Right.
What they actually got was about $26 billion. I could keep going. I don't want to read off numbers like Francesa, but the point is,
but that
people
says
like
a lot.
Politicians, people like FIFA, they like to sell that this is going to make so much money for the surrounding area. It's going to relieve the taxpayers. And time after time after time after time, it's just proven that they're wrong.
It's always an overshot, right? It's the overshot, and then they'll say, "Well, the good news is it's still $20 billion, but it's 30 shy of what they predicted or projected, which means a lot of times projected. So you're going to now spend
right
to get to. So the whole story.
Well, Alan,
go ahead.
That brings up the question of how much did they spend? Brazil in 2014, I gave you that $26 billion number.
Yeah.
They spent about $11.6 billion just preparing for it.
Right, and that's the one thing New York doesn't have that much to prepare for, right? All the stadiums are already set. There'll be some infrastructure that they put in there. Mm-hmm. But it's like some of these countries, they bid for the World Cup and then literally have to build stadiums
build a stadium,
to accommodate them. I don't think the New York has, or the United States has, the overhead that some of these other countries do because the infrastructure is already in place. But still, that doesn't mean that they're going to get exactly what they think they're going to get.
Well, it sounds like that $150 round trip New Jersey Transit thing.
Right.
Sounds like that's happening.
Yeah, it was going to be 100. Now it's 150. Yeah. Apparently, they reevaluated and said we can do better.
Right.
We can make more.
Well, they weren't that pissed off. Let's do it.
And the other thing, too, is from what I understand reading, is that you're still going to have to pay for parking at the train. Like it is, hey, whatever, man. But these numbers, Peter, it's like it's not even me picking on a sport that I don't care for. It's like even if this were, to go to a Super Bowl, or to go to something that I really love, like I just come on, man, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, what was the cost to revenue balance for the Super Bowl in New York?
The balance.
It's a one-time event. Like what did we really get out of it? I don't think anybody ever. I don't think we ever saw it.
Somebody got something out of it.
Well, we all.
But are you telling me that restaurants in the New York area maybe saw more people? Yeah, I'm sure they did. I'm sure the economy of New York for that week was better than it normally would be for a given week in February.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just wonder sometimes it's just the prestige of, hey, look what we had.
Yeah, like for New Orleans, the Super Bowl being in the rotation, it's everything because that is a tourist town. They live off of tourism, right? That's why they have the Sugar Bowl. That's why they get Final Fours. it's important to a town like that.
No,
because when there's no events going on, it's a much smaller city than when there is an event going on, the population-wise. So it's different.
We ready for Fraud Alert Friday? We had a little bit of a tease earlier with the whole WrestleMania Game 1 thing with the Knicks.
Yeah.
So Fraud Alert Friday is next. It's Don Hahn Rosenberg here on a Friday on ESPN New York.
Hey, guys, in New York, every block is a business. Every minute counts, as you know. Amazon Hub Delivery lets you earn extra revenue from the business you already run. You and your staff can deliver packages right in your neighborhood on a schedule that works for you. It's a smart way to keep your hustle going, bring in more revenue, more visibility, and stay connected to the community you serve every day. You got to listen to this now if you own a business. So Christine's an owner of All Breed Cat and Dog Grooming in Verona, New Jersey. She said she loves the flexibility of Amazon Hub Delivery. She takes grooming appointments in the morning and then delivers packages in the afternoon around her business schedule. And getting started, listen, it's easy. No delivery experience, no long-term contracts, and no startup costs either. New York local businesses, ready to make your next move? Hey, visit Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. Do it now. Check it out. Amazon.com/HUB Delivery.
It feels like everyone's sick right now. You aren't imagining it. Doctors say this is the worst cold and flu season in 25 years, and it's not over. I was just traveling. It was like everyone around me was coughing, sneezing, and sick. I can't afford to get sick, and I doubt you can either. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. Having a medical emergency kit is like having urgent care and pharmacy right in your home. It includes essential prescriptions like generic Z-Pak to help you get well faster, plus important antibiotics to treat pneumonia, strep throat, sinus and ear infections, nausea, even UTIs, and many more common and serious illnesses. It's your kit the moment you need it. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. It's genius. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. I can save you $45 when you use my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. Again, save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
NBA fans, listen up. You can enter FanDuel's Play-In Palooza for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets every day of the Play-In tournament. All you have to do is place a live bet using your Play-In Palooza token. Then you'll automatically be entered for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. So don't just watch the NBA Play-In tournament from the sidelines. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get into the action. And don't forget to enter FanDuel Play-In Palooza. All you have to do is place a live bet using your Play-In Palooza token for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Limit one entry. Profit boost bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost token. Prizes issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467369.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. Just like the New Jersey Devils protect their home ice, Viking Pest Control protects your home. And I know because I use Viking at my own place. As the pest control provider and proud partner of the New Jersey Devils, Viking brings 45 years of trusted experience and expert service to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, and even mosquitoes out of your zone. Their local team builds a personalized game plan that actually works. And when you bundle pest control and mosquito services, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com. Protecting your home inside and out.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
All right, spring's here, and you know what that means. It's time to get that grill going, and if you're not shopping at Wild Fork Foods, you're doing it all wrong. Right now, you get bacon-wrapped pork rounds for $2 each. $2. That's not normal. And chicken thighs for $2 a pound. That's awesome quality at a great value. Everything's blast frozen, so it actually tastes fresh. You got 7 stores or same-day delivery at wildforkfoods.com. Wild Fork Foods, quality meat, wild prices.
Now it's time for traffic with Susie Cerrone.
Thanks, guys. It is an hour trip on the belt westbound from Erskine Street to across the Verrazano. The LIE eastbound is solid from the BQE to the Clearview. That is from an earlier accident, an hour. On the Cross Bronx westbound to the outbound George, outbound Lincoln or Holland, 20 minutes apiece. And we've got delays on the thruway northbound from exit 8 in White Plains right up to exit 13 for the Palisades. And this report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drugged driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. Visit MADD.org. I'm Susie Cerrone for 880 ESPN New York.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In a contracting business, you're either growing or you're grinding. Success is no longer about hard work alone. It's about using AI to accelerate impact. ServiceTitan is the only integrated intelligence that seamlessly automates your entire workflow, from first call to final invoice. Born in the trades, built for visionaries ready to stop operating and start automating. ServiceTitan, AI for the trades.
Did you or someone you know participate in fraudulent fan behavior?
I'm a fraud with a capital F.
Is your friend a fraud?
I have been a complete and utter fraud.
Are you a fraud?
What is fraud?
Let's ask Don McGregor.
Screw! Go scratch yourself!
Brought to you by D'Agostino Law.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fraud Alert Friday. It's time, dhrespn@gmail.com. That's how you send us your fraud alert questions. Sorry, during the break, I was perusing the ordering in menu here at the MGM Grand.
What do we have?
Very affordable.
I have confirmed exactly, Don. I have confirmed Starvation. I looked up. I'm gonna keep it simple. I mean, you're ordering room service. It's one of those things. You know, you keep it pretty basic. I currently have a burger set right here. My question for you guys is, when I put everything in, what do you think the price will actually be? It says, well, let me guess this first. What do you think it costs right now? It's a burger and fries I added it's like a cheeseburger with jalapenos or something.
No, but just a burger and fry, $24.99.
Al?
With the fries?
It comes with fries.
Comes with, right?
Yeah, it's a comes with
situation. It's going to get me under 30.
$26.40.
All right, so the total is on the menu. It came to $29. Now the question for you guys that I have is, what do you think the service charge that they're throwing at me here at the MGM Grand?
10?
No.
40?
Higher, Bob.
You going higher for the service charge?
Yeah.
Let me save everyone time. Don nailed it. $9.50 for the service charge.
That's actually not bad.
So that means here, let me throw them a little tip, right?
Yeah.
Sure. $5 enough for a tip for this burger, or no? Want to do more?
I would think you'd have to. Well, if the burger, what are you tipping off? 10% of the 10% of the original price, or everything?
Well, yeah, because it's delivery,
service,
right? It's not a waiter.
Yeah, but they are setting you up. But still, they've already taken 10 out of your pocket just because of the walk.
By the way, just so you know, the total they're up to at this moment, before I've tipped, is $41.73 for me to try to have a cheeseburger for lunch. They're into me for $41. So what I tip? Do I tip them $10? Make it just an even 50?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think that's probably about right.
Although the options they have here, they have 18% listed, and it's $5.22, or 20%, $5.80. Should I just go with what they're listing?
Yeah, why not? They're giving it to you, right?
They're giving. I'll do 22%. I'm giving them the highest one they offered me. Okay, So they're
the hamburger is gonna make you have a movement, but it's not gonna give you movement. and it'll be lukewarm by the time you get it. Too.
Oh no! See that the other thing I think of though is how often will you be using this? Because then you want to tip well in the beginning so that
this is it for me.
All right, then it doesn't matter. Yeah, then keep it simple.
I did it. Now, by the way, here's a nice note they add after it's been ordered. Your order may take up to 1.5 hours during peak hours.
Well, this I wouldn't.
This is not a peak hour.
I wouldn't think 1:30.
1:30 is not a peak hour. If you're trying to do this at like 6, 7 o'clock at night, I would think you'd be waiting.
I think the window they say is all day is peak hours, but don't worry about it, guys. We're gonna. I didn't want to do this, but after we finish up here, I'm heading over to the Hall of Fame, and it's gonna be a long night. So I was like, let me just get lunch here.
You need sustenance.
I need to sustain, and I looked at the menu. I'm not getting a $30 Caesar salad. I'm just getting a burger. It's the smart play, guys. It's Fraud Alert Friday.
Sure is.
Let's hear from the people. So many people reach out to us every week with different sorts of fraud situations to ask about. Let's get started right here. Hi, guys. Long time debate by my brother on whether or not he is a fraud.
Okay.
His all-time favorite player is Peyton Manning. So when he was drafted by Indianapolis in 1998, he became a Colts fan.
Sure.
In 2012, when he got traded to the Broncos, he became a Broncos fan.
All right, too.
To this day, he is a Broncos fan. He follows the sport religiously, and it's important to note that his second all-time favorite player is Von Miller. Is he a fraud or is he not?
But he had no team prior to Manning.
Correct.
I believe the whole being a fan of a player and following a player, I find it to be fraudulent. Okay. Sure. Because now you're on the Broncos. All right, now the wheel spun and it stopped on Denver.
Yep.
All right, because Von Miller's not there anymore. Peyton Manning's not there anymore.
No.
So it stopped. Why did it stop on Denver? Why didn't he leave it on Indianapolis? He's following Peyton, but now Peyton's gone. Von Miller's gone. What are we doing? This isn't NASCAR. This isn't golf. This isn't tennis. It's football. It's a team sport. Becoming a fan of a team because of one player and then following the team around, or that player around, fraud.
But then he stayed with them, though.
But now he stayed. That's the part that makes it compelling.
It's still fraudulent how he got there.
Okay.
Because what if Peyton Manning comes out of retirement? He's going to go root for whatever team. If he decides to
now we're having a conversation.
Well, Von Miller, who's his second favorite player, if I'm not mistaken, did go to the Rams, right?
Well, he's a commander
or the
now.
Bills or somewhere.
No, he's bounced around. Why didn't he follow Von Miller, second favorite player?
That's.
It stinks. It stinks, and it stinks like a fraud. You want to take it up with another judge? You want to get another jury in here, by all means. You could appeal. But you know what? Guilty of stinky fraud.
Stinky fraud. That's a new fraud.
Yeah, we never heard of stink fraud.
We've never had
sniffed it out.
stinky
I sniffed it out.
Sniffed it out? All right, stinky fraud it is. Did we ever list all the Did we ever list all of the frauds, by the way?
I think Anthony's writing these down.
You would hope so.
All right, to the Honorable Judge LaGreca, I think I already know your ruling on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to hear you call my wife Denise a fraud.
Oh, wow.
Denise is a longtime Jet fan.
Okay.
For years now, she's threatened to jump ship because of the laughable nature of the franchise.
Oh.
She's finally pulled the trigger.
Whoa.
She's grown into a big Fernando Mendoza fan.
What?
This is a thing, by the way.
Well, let's play it out. Hold on. There's some deep stuff here.
Okay.
Because like Fernando, she is Cuban, and her mother suffers from MS.
All right, well, there you go.
She's ready to buy his Raiders jersey and jump from one sinking ship to another. Don, while I respect her reasoning for rooting for Mendoza, and I understand the grass won't be much greener on the other side, she is still a pure-blooded fraud, correct? With love from New Jersey, Sean Dugan.
Listen, I respect your Cuban heritage, and I respect the fact of why she is a fan of Mendoza. She's still a fraud. Hardcore.
Sad.
Because would she be jumping ship if the Jets went to the championship game last year? No, she wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's just looking for a reason to get out. And I'm telling you, if Mendoza turns out to be a bust and the Raiders stink and all of a sudden the Jets kind of turn the corner, where do you think she's going to do? I got all this Jets gear. I was a fan of them for years anyway.
Nope,
I'll just
we
go
won't
back.
have you back.
No, I understand that.
We're not
but
having you back.
This is what frauds do. They knock on the door. They need the fix.
That's
sad,
what the fraud
though,
needs in their life.
It's sad because if you really were a Jets fan, of all the franchises to choose, the Raiders are at the they're among the top teams that you can't ever root for. If you really are a Jets fan, you know that historically there's probably 3 teams that you could never, ever root for if you ever wanted to leave. They're one of them.
Something important has just happened. I got a text.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's worth breaking. It's worth breaking in for.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Ballard just texted me.
He's going to pay for your lunch.
I just hear Michael's voice in my head. No, he's not, because he's cheap and a fraud. He wrote, "Hey, I don't always need the whole story, but as one of your closest friends, I do need a text that says some variation of, 'Holy blank, I just met Gretzky. I should not be learning this on the radio.'"
Oh, that's a good point. If you guys are close.
It is fair.
No, you know what? It's of all the people, I didn't have time to tell anyone yesterday. I maybe texted my brother. I called Natalie. She didn't answer. And this morning I was pleased to know she knew exactly who Gretzky was, so that was good.
She didn't say Dwayne Jetsky?
She didn't say Dwayne Jetsky, but I don't want to reveal too much. But Natalie at one point in her life did date a guy who loved hockey and was a hockey player. So she should know who Gretzky is. But Ballard was the one. Ballard or Don or Alan. I thought of both you guys and then said I'm saving it for the show.
Not even a selfie? Nothing?
No selfie.
Not even over your shoulder. He's not looking. Let me just get.
Well,
this
I
real
thought
quick,
we were going to get more time.
Oh, I see.
And then when we went to meet him, it didn't turn into more time.
Okay.
So
Right.
Ballard's right. I'm just
right.
going to text him back. You're right. I'm a bad friend.
But I'm glad you didn't you reach out to me or Alan because I like that you saved it for the show.
Come on. I'm a guy who doesn't waste it. I save everything for the program. Here we go,
That's good for the
guys.
show.
Yeah, that's how I do. Oscar writes us and says, "Hey, Oscar from Los Angeles back again. Last time the fraud alert question was about my brother, the Celtics/Yankees fan, and Don declared no fraud. This time it's about me. I go to Padres games randomly, mostly because I love the city and the ballpark. I'm always there when they play the Yankees. I'm a diehard Yankees fan.
Mm-hmm.
Don and I always sort of cringe at diehard.
There's
Yankees fan.
no other kind.
Well, and yet there's no kind because if you're over a certain age, you saw so many championships, you don't know what it is to diehard.
Correct.
That's Jets fan. Now, Alan, you have Jets, so you got diehard.
It's not Die Hard. It's dead. We're dead.
Yeah.
Just dead Jet fans. We're dead.
Fully dead.
We died.
He said, when I go to the games that the Yankees aren't playing, I wear a Team USA jersey, Trout or Judge. Recently, with the WBC, my girlfriend tried to get me a Tatis Dominican Republic jersey for trips to San Diego. They sold out, so I couldn't get one. With the new Padres City Connect jerseys, she suggested buying a Tatis one. If I do and wear it, am I a fraud? P.S. I do like watching the Padres, but I don't root for them.
Okay.
When I do, it's to troll my sister, who's a Dodgers fan. Here's us at Game 5 of the 2024 NLDS.
Oh.
Do it, Don.
We've had this conversation before about jerseys. I'm going to say no fraud.
D'Agostino.
He lives out there in California. The Padres and the Yankees, even though they did play in the World Series in 1998, have no rivalry at all. When the Yankees come to town, he roots for the Yankees, and he shows respect when he goes to a Padre game that doesn't involve the Yankees to wear something other than a Padre
USA T-shirt. Okay.
Right. Now, he decided he is going to wear the Padre City Connect, maybe because he likes the jersey, likes that. I'm cool with that. We've talked about buying jerseys. The rule for me is you don't go rivalry, you don't go division. All right, so you can't buy a Red Sox jersey or
wait a minute.
a Rays jersey. This is a Padre 3,000 miles away. They have no rivalry. I say no fraud.
But I'm trying to understand this.
Go ahead.
You're a fan of another team.
Right.
Why are you wearing the jersey of a team that you're going to see if you're not a fan of that team?
But
this is zipper key. She wants him to do this.
No, listen, I think it's a zipper key because I get that, but he's going to the game anyway. He likes the Padres.
I'm gonging that.
But you can't gong. That's not a thing.
It's a thing for me.
I hit the gong. You could create things that you can gong away. That's fine.
I'm just hitting the gong.
It produces nothing.
I don't care what it does. It means a lot to me. It's personal to me. It's a disagreement gong.
I like the disagreement gong.
His team is 3,000 miles away.
Right, he
loves
wants to go to
baseball.
games. Right.
Why do you don't have to wear a jersey of a team? Why would you wear the jersey of a team? That's not my team. I'm not wearing a jersey of a team
like
that I
the
don't
jersey.
root for.
I mean, listen.
No, he's trying to fit in with everybody around him.
Oh,
you know what this is about.
No, I think it's just that. Hey, I think it's okay as long as it's not a rival. It's like, listen, the Yankees aren't involved. If I'm a Yankee fan, but I like the Padres.
So you're saying, real quick, are you saying, Don, that you're fine with the fact that since he's not trying to say he wants to be a fan, but he is kind of admitting, I live here, I like going to games, and I do kind of like this team, but like they're nothing compared to the Yankees.
Right.
You're saying because of the distance between the Padres and the Yankees, who cares?
Right, exactly. There's no rivalry there.
That's interesting. I like that rule.
As a fan of the Mets, did I not say, all right, you know what? My wife's a Giant fan. I'll root for the Giants to do well for her.
But would you wear a jersey? If she's like, you know what, Don, buy this Dave Rigetti jersey. Put it on. Wear it.
And also, here's this Dave Rigetti mask. Can you put this on too?
Well, let's and take your pants off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I might. Again, there's no rivalry there. All right, you knew growing up I was a Devil fan, right?
Sure. Well,
but I don't wear jerseys anymore because I'm a 58-year-old man.
Mm-hmm.
But like hanging up in the man cave right now, I've got a Trevor Linden jersey. I got a Saku Koivu jersey. I've got what else do I have of other teams? I got the Sharks sent me a jersey when I did NHL Live, and I hang them up on the wall. Or I got Saku Koivu to autograph the Canadiens jersey.
Nice.
I didn't have a Ranger jersey or an Islander jersey or a Flyer jersey. You can like other teams, and you can hope other teams do well as long as it doesn't come at the expense of your favorite team. If the Padres and the Yankees obviously made it to the World Series again, and he rooted for the Padres, he'd be a fraud. If he was happy the Padres won as an alternative, he'd be a fraud. But when you're 3,000 miles away, you never had like a second favorite team, Alan, that you like to see do well?
Not to that extent.
What extent is it? It's not like he's flying 3,000 miles away to see the Padres. He lives in California.
I had jerseys I liked, but I never. There was never like a team that like an LA team. That'd be kind of the same thing, wouldn't it? Or
because you lived in New York your whole life.
So okay. Well, there was never another team that I'm like. Yeah, no, it just would never have happened.
That was Fraud Alert Friday, brought to you by D'Agostino Law.
Yeah.
35 years of getting accident victims and Social Security disability clients every dollar they deserve. Offices in New York and New Jersey. 1-800-BITE-BACK, 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino Law, Bite Back.
D'Agostino.
We got calls on the Knicks. Mets had a chance. Bases loaded, one out, down 10-4.
Oh, my goodness.
But a double play ended that.
A chance to do what?
And then the Mets turn around, and then the bottom of the eighth inning, Cubs just hit a 2-run home run, so now it's 12-4. So, yeah, it's all coming together. You know, if today was Wednesday, none of this would have happened.
Well, it's a good thing David Stern spoke today.
Oh, we're going to play that at some point because if you wanted to know what vanilla sounded like,
oh wow,
we'll have David Stearns coming up in a little bit. It's Don Hahn Rosenberg. Take up until 7 o'clock on ESPN New York.
Position, but it doesn't really mean anything because at the end of the day, when you get in the playoffs, you got to find a way to win 4 of those 7.
The Hawks
playoffs.
Atlanta's a good team. They're a good team. Everybody's good, especially at this time of the year.
The NBA playoffs.
You are better than Atlanta. Period. Stop.
You should go out and you should beat Atlanta. And it should not be one of these extended series either.
No, you should beat them in 5.
You should.
Game 1 coverage begins Saturday at 5 on 880, 1050, and the ESPN New York app.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets, so go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-433-8909. 800-433-8909. Again, that's 800-433-8909.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text TIP to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text TIP to 215-215. That's TIP to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Now through April 23rd, get to Floor & Decor's flagship store in Brooklyn at 850 3rd Avenue. Enter the Design Your Day with K sweepstakes presented by Floor & Decor. Discover unmatched selection, unbelievable prices, plus standout looks in tile, wood, stone, and more. Explore fresh ideas, find your inspiration, and see real people, real projects. The Design Your Day with K sweepstakes, only at Floor & Decor in Brooklyn. Now through April 23rd. Visit ESPNNewYork.com for full details and rules.
25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet number in your ears. Check it in a year, check it in 5. This ain't optimum 5, but price is still alive. 25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet number in your ears. Get Optimum famously fast fiber internet. Optimum.com/25 for 5. Or call 8884-OPTIMUM. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for.
The Michael K. Show Reverse Remote coming up on April 23rd, presented by Floor & Decor. A full takeover with everything you need to upgrade your home while we break down everything happening in New York sports. And if you're in Brooklyn, stop by Floor & Decor's flagship store, which is at 850 3rd Avenue, because while we're on the air, there's plenty happening in store. The Michael K. Show Reverse Remote presented by Floor & Decor. Just want to take a second before we get back to the Knicks calls and everything that's going on with that, is the Devils decided on their new general manager, and it's Sonny Mehta, who had worked building the Devils analytic department, which was one of the first of its kind back when Lou Lamoriello was the general manager, and he stayed when Ray Shero took over, and then eventually went to Florida to become the assistant general manager under Bill Zito, and won 2 Stanley Cups in 24 and 25 with the Panthers, and now is the Devils general manager. He was born in Michigan but grew up in Wyckoff, New Jersey. Now, why is Wyckoff famous? Not just because it's next to the town that I grew up, Hawthorne. It's also where Clixie's was. So when I talk to him, I've got to know if he ever went to Clixie's. That might decide what our relationship is going to be moving forward. Because he's 10 years younger than me, so I think he's 48 years old. So he definitely knew Clixie's.
Budweiser Nips over at Gypsy Pond behind Clixie's.
Listen, I don't think he did that, but I'm sure he did have a hamburger or a hot dog over at Clixie's. I have to ask him about that.
Need to ask him that.
And there's a lot of people confusing. He went to Ramapo High School. He didn't go to Ramapo College, but I got a lot of people, tweeting me like, "Hey, he went to Ramapo." He went to Ramapo High School, and he brought the cup back to his high school when they won the first one in 2024.
He played high school hockey, right?
Played hockey. Yeah. Grew up a Devil fan too. So it's a really cool story. It feels like they got this one right. Hey, you got to see how it all works out at the end of the day, right? And I know there's trepidation about an analytics guy, but let's face it, it's hitting all sports. And the simulations and all the things that kind of play into building a hockey team. But Bill Zito, one of the best general managers in the sport, needed this guy, wanted this guy, and helped win 2 Stanley Cups. And if Lou Lamoriello hired him, that Lou wanted his information desperately as well. So this seemed like a logical hire, local guy, getting a chance to come back to his old stomping grounds. He'll be introduced at The Rock on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. My plan's to try to get out there, try to get him on the show. I know we'll have a lot of Knicks recap from Game 2 and all that, but I think it's a really interesting hire. I think it's a fun hire considering that he's a local guy, and from what I understand, he's got a great sense of humor, fun guy, and also Peter, a professional poker player.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So
wow, what a life!
He also went to school to play guitar. So this is someone that is very, very eclectic,
very well-rounded.
Not just about hockey, loves music, loves poker, loves hockey. So I'm really looking forward to getting to know this guy, and hopefully we'll have a relationship moving forward. So he got his dream job, I got my dream job, and I'll introduce myself on Tuesday. We'll see if we can get him on the show, if not Tuesday, at some point during the course of next week. So I just wanted to carve out that little bit of time there.
It's a really interesting hire on many levels. When you think about, number one, again, he did work with the Devils. And the fact that Zito hired him away in 2020, and, how did it work out for the Panthers, right? What did they build, right? What did they do there? And analytics is a big part of this. And analytics is a big part of sports. It doesn't mean it overwhelms you, but to have that kind of preparation, to be ahead of the game on a lot of decisions you make, that's what the numbers tell you. That's what's important about it. If he's a good poker player, then obviously he understands his numbers, right? So there's a lot there to like about this. And on top of it, too, a lot of these guys sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, I grew up here, grew up a Devils fan. And it's like maybe not. I saw him post a photo of himself as a young man. I don't know if he was a teenager or not.
It looked like he was like late teens in the picture.
And he had on one of those starter pullover crinkled Devils, like the quarter zip thing.
Yeah.
Like from back in the day. When you see something like that, that's legit. But somebody took it, and, of course, they fixed it for him. Mm-hmm. And so instead of saying Devils on the front, it said windbreaker. Just like the jersey and the hat. Now you have a windbreaker.
Well, they finally retired that this year, so that jersey
That's
is
too
now
bad.
dead.
I like the jersey.
But it was actually a pretty cool concept. Hat, jersey.
Shirt.
They did
that for him, which was cool. But I think it's a great hire.
The last home game against Ottawa that I did, they gave me a pin, and it said pin. Because it was the last day that they were going to wear those jerseys because they were retiring them.
Did you get one?
I don't have one, but really cool. When Marco and Jalen were born, they got that jersey. The Devils, I was doing a game at The Rock, and they gave them that jersey. They don't fit them anymore because they were infants at the time. But
wait, so you were the Rangers guy?
Yeah,
and you did a game at The Rock, and the Devils gifted the kids little jersey. That's very
Pete
nice.
Albeats, the PR director, came up to the booth and
we should have known. We should have known, Alan, at that point, the path we were on.
It was.
The writing was on the wall.
Well, it took a few years, but no, it was cool. So I wanted to be able to mention that.
Yeah, good stuff. Look forward to talking to him.
Well, I want to tell you guys to listen up.
Yes.
NBA fans need to listen up.
Oh.
Because you can enter FanDuel's Play-In Palooza for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets every day of the play-in tournament, which is now coming to an end tonight. All you have to do is place a live bet using your Play-In Palooza token. Then you'll automatically be entered for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. So don't just watch the NBA Play-In tournament from the sidelines. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get in on the action. And don't forget to enter FanDuel's Play-In Palooza for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. 21 and over, physically present in New York. No purchase necessary, option required. Limit one entry. Profit boost bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost token. Prizes issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Knicks on the table. Mets have just lost, so 9 straight losses for the Mets. And before the game, David Stearns spoke. How did it age? We'll find that out. Don Hahn Rosenberg till 7 o'clock here on ESPN New York.
Now it's time for traffic and Susie Cerrone.
Thanks, guys. With a 7:05 home game tonight in the Bronx, get going if you're headed to the stadium. We've got solid delays, 30 minutes at the George for the upper, 20 at the lower. The Deegan southbound is slow from Van Cortlandt Park on down. Making matters worse, a stalled tractor trailer on the Deegan northbound at Yankee Stadium. That is blocking the right lane. Harbaugh on the Cross Bronx westbound to the outbound George. There's a crash on the Garden State Parkway southbound at 144 in the left lane, and a stalled truck on the Thruway northbound at exit 8 in the center lane. We're sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. Visit mad.org. I'm Susie Cerrone for 880 ESPN New York.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it is game time, fellas,
It's
Tully time. It's Tully time.
Mets Cubs over. It's done. It's finished.
Oh.
Mets lose 12-4, their 9th consecutive loss, but it's all coming together. They hit the ball pretty well today. If they had just hit the ball harder and farther,
and away from people,
they could have won the game.
Don't hit it at people, Don. They had 14 hits, which is the same amount of hits as the Cubs did. That's good.
Hey,
and they only had 2 errors.
The phrase is, hit them where they ain't. They didn't do that today. Maybe they'll try again tomorrow.
Maybe they will.
Coverage of the NBA play-in doubleheader immediately follow us on 880 at 7 o'clock. So at some point when the post game is over, probably around 5:30, we'll be on 880, and we'll lead you in to the NBA play-in doubleheader. Yankees start a series with the Royals at 7:05. Yankees trying to get themselves back on track after splitting a 4-game series with the Angels, and very easily could have lost all 4 of those games, but didn't. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Mets will be on the table in a bit, but you want to dive back into the Knicks tomorrow. Right at this moment, 24 hours from now, your assignment, kids, is to go to MSG. Because an hour before tip-off, which will be on Prime, MSG is going to give you a pregame show. 60 minutes, Bill Pito, Alan Hahn, Wally Zerbiak, Alex Monaco is going to be on the streets talking to fans. And then following the game, MSG is going to do a post-game show. This is going to happen throughout the playoffs. So even though MSG has been shut out of calling games in the postseason, they're going to be all over coverage pre and post. Monica McNutt and Tyler Murray also will be involved in the coverage. That'll start tomorrow at 5 o'clock on MSG. Feels like Knicks fans are overly optimistic, and I wanted to disagree with Peter on one thing. That
how dare you?
If the Knicks were to lose tomorrow, and that would be devastating historically, because when the Knicks lose game 1 at home in a playoff series, they always lose the series. That's why I think this game is very, very important. But I think Knicks fans are confident enough. They're not like most fans here in New York. Will there be trepidation? Will they be a little worried and concerned on Monday when we go to the block party if they're down 1-0? But I don't think they will be overly nervous, overly concerned. I would be, just because of the history. But I think Knicks fans are pretty positive just by talking to them. I'm hearing more conversation about matching up with the Celtics. Even the calls we took in the first 2 hours, guys. I like the matchup against the Celtics and this and that. Don't look past this Hawk team. So as optimistic as the fans are, I think there is a reality that this Hawk team can be a bit of a concern. And history tells you if you were to lose game 1, you could be in a lot more trouble than maybe you realize.
How many players, aside from last year, were on the teams that lost game 1 at home in Knicks history?
I get that, Alan.
Like that's a trend. That's a franchise trend. But that, like, I don't use that as a indicator of what's going to happen. I understand it, Don. Like, I'm not trying to disparage anything you're saying here. It's just more of like, that's not the concern. It's always about what it looks like, and I need to see it, because if they come out and we've seen them have bad starts and they're fumbling around, they can't make threes, and you're like, what'd you guys do for a week, right? They are a better team. Talent-wise, they're a deeper team, and they're home, where they were 30 and what were they? 30 and 10?
30 and good.
Yeah, 30 and really good. So, like, all of these things is why, as a fan and as an analyst, the confidence should be heavily favored to the Knicks. For all those reasons. Well-rested, had all week to prepare, which they always are, a very well-prepared team. And on top of it, you're home, where you have been dominant. So there's no reason to think that – there's no reason to have any type of concern or trepidation about this game. It's always, for me, the game 2 that bothers you, because you get the – like that's what they did with Detroit. They won the game 1 in Detroit. They went on the 21-0 run, took over the game in the second half. It looked like, oh, they're going to roll this team. Like Detroit just realized how hard the playoffs is. Kate had a bad game 1. And then game 2 happened, and you're like, wait, how'd you lose this game? Why would you give this game away? They didn't play well. It forced them to have to win games in a row. They were 4-5 in home games last year in the playoffs. That's the stat that I would use. You got to make sure your home games matter this year. You've got to make sure you cash in on all the home games, because you're not going to go on a run if you aren't taking advantage of what is your home court advantage, which is the Garden. You got to do it.
But I understand what you're saying about the turnover. But sports is sports, right? I mean, Red Sox all had to answer, hey, you haven't won a World Series since 1918. Well,
You're right.
All those guys are dead now, but it's still a thing. Until you change it, it's still a thing, right?
Yes.
And also, there's also the mechanics of, I believe, home court. It's changed a little bit recently because there is a little bit more parity, but it's pretty set. When a 3 plays a 6, I mean, you're supposed to take care of business at home.
Correct.
And if immediately, right out of the box, the Knicks, a heavy favored team,
you're chasing,
were to give up home court advantage immediately, it becomes a thing.
Yep.
It just does. And then it puts the onus on, then you got to win game 2, otherwise now you're sunk.
Absolutely.
Wait, but I thought you said you disagreed with me about part of that.
No, what I disagreed with is that you said even if they were to lose game 1, I think the fans might start getting nervous. I think this fan base is so positive that I still think they'd be totally in to game 2 and not be worried about it. I'm saying you should be worried about it if you drop game 1. Because
you keep saying positive,
it gives them life.
You keep I only come across Knicks fans who are just right now nervous, filled with anxiety.
Where?
Oh, everywhere.
No, but
Don's deep. He's deep in the Knicks Twitter.
Not lacking confidence, not believing, but there is this. I've saw it all season. It's like we got to win this year.
Well,
we got to win this year.
I get
they keep
that.
Talking about is how important it is, and every game out, and then it becomes the Hawks. You play the Hawks. Oh my God, we have the toughest first round of anybody in the top 4. They're like this Hawks team. I mean, they had our 18-2 run. They're so good, and it's like, you're trying to.
Well,
you feel like the inevitable disappointment because for the
you're
Knicks
way
for
deeper
53
in
years,
it than I am. Being with the Knicks fans, I'm just talking about even our callers today, or we're still talking more about the matchup with the Celtics, as if all right, we're going on a run here, and, and I'm just saying don't disrespect the opponent. Now, listen, the fans have nothing the players aren't going to do that.
Definitely not.
They're
not.
What I'm saying is, and I love the optimism of Knicks fans, but at least in this time slot, Peter and I can give you chapter and verse. Go back to the Heat series, right? Michael K's like, I'm guaranteeing they're going to the conference final. They're going to beat the Heat, and then they lose to the Heat. They're going to beat it loud. And then even in game 1 against Miami, Butler twisted his ankle. He wasn't even 100%. Still lost the series, right? And then last year it was they're going to the finals. Indiana was going to be a mosquito on the windshield.
They were up 13 in the last 5 minutes of the game in game 1, Don. They had that game in their pocket.
Right, and they had the game, and then a miracle shot.
Soft.
And even after that loss, it was like, it took a miracle to lose that game. We're not going to lose another game, and then you end up losing in 6.
That game 2, these game 2s are the ones that bother me more than anything, because that game 2 was, now you got to win. And the problem was the Pacers didn't even play a good game, and you gave it to them. And then Siakam had an unreal game, and now you're down 0-2.
So I'm saying is,
I'm with you.
You asked me at the beginning of the show,
how do you feel?
Optimistic they're going to make a run? And I'm like, I'm not even thinking about run. I'm thinking about just getting out of the first round, which I believe they will. And I think they're going to win in 5. Peter had it at 5. I really think there isn't a real reason to even be concerned. I'm just saying I've seen the recent history. Don't count your chickens. Get to work. And you saw it with the Pistons last year in the first round, too. You just said they couldn't win home games. That shouldn't have gone 6, but it did.
Exactly.
Just take care of business. Boston will be there waiting for you, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And there'll be plenty of time to analyze that when we get there. And the same thing with the conference final and hopefully an NBA finals. Instead of thinking run, let's win game 1 here.
Okay. And I think this series for the Knicks will set the tone for whatever's going to come after this. Because if they do take care of business, and it's an impressive, if it's 5, right? And because this, again, it's a good test. And as I said, I think this is the iron sharpens iron thing. I think they need this. They need to play somebody that they have a healthy respect and concern about because of the style of play in the matchup. And so this can set a tone. If they take care of business and just all of a sudden we look up and, next, whatever it is, I don't even know if I'm trying to do the game schedule, but next Tuesday, the series is over. Then it's like, okay, So you see a team that's locked in. But if we're already now extending this thing, the if necessary is gone from Game 6. Yeah, then you're like, all right, well, how can I believe that you can beat Boston when you got to grind through this series? So a very inexperienced team. So I'm looking for the tone setter. I'm looking to see how serious is this freaking team. Like, come on. And I think this group knows it. These guys internally know it. They're the ones that are saying it to each other about looking around the room. Always the whole thing of who's going to be the hero. They're looking around the room, and it's the warning of who's going to be the weak link. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be the weak link on a team like this. You don't want to be the reason why not. That's also a thing that plays into guys. When you're at a place where you have a guy like Towns and Brunson, and the coach got fired because this team's trying to win a championship, I guarantee you every guy in that room is feeling this, it's not going to be me. I'm not going to be the reason why not.
Alan, let me ask you something. What's the thing you're looking for in Game 1? What would be an indicator that this team is different than last year? And you're like, wow, there's something I'm seeing.
First quarters. So the Knicks, look, the Hawks are big on turnovers. And, these are the two things I would watch. And the first and foremost thing is the turnovers. They will force turnovers, and they will make you pay. They're one of the top teams in scoring off turnovers. The Knicks generally are very good at limiting turnovers, but they do have a tendency to be sloppy and give the ball away. Unforced errors a lot of times. And if you let them get some momentum in your building early in the game because you're a little sloppy and they're taking turnovers and putting them down your throat, I don't like that. I need you sharp early. The three-pointers, that's another part of this too. Catch and shoot stuff because, again, Atlanta doesn't run a lot of half court. They're not really a great half court team. They don't have a point guard. They run a lot of things in the flow, but they do everything in transition. So the Knicks are usually really good at limiting turnovers, really good at limiting points off turnovers, but they do have a tendency to be sloppy early in games. They also, early in games, give up a lot of catch and shoot threes early, and teams can get hot. How many times do we see? Remember we had that run where we were always talking about those first quarters? They were playing the bad teams, and every single one of those bad teams had big first quarters, and now all of a sudden you're chasing the scoreboard thinking you're not going to lose to this team, are you? And they had to fight their way back and win it at the end. So two things. What am I looking for, Peter? I want right out of the gate, first quarter, you're not giving them any momentum. They're a road team, a young team. Don't give them any momentum with easy threes to get into rhythm and turnovers that allow them to run on you. That's it right there.
All right, let's hear from you at 1-800-919-3776. Jimmy in Connecticut. You're on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
What's going on, guys? So, Alan, I heard you say earlier when I think it was in the first hour that you think Cat's the most important, that Brunson's the best player, but Cat's the most important player. I do agree that he's the most important player, Cat, in a long run in the playoffs and ultimately winning a championship. Although I would actually argue that in this series individually, I think Mitch is the most important guy. And the reason I say that is because, yes, Cat's 7 feet, but his game isn't really centered around his down-low play. I mean, yes, he can pound it down low, but he's really a shooting big man. I think the X factor is going to be Mitch keeping up with the pace and being the dominant force that he should be with the lack of size that Atlanta has. I just want to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I could see that. Now, let me just correct you on one thing, though, because I know Towns is considered a perimeter big throughout his career. If you've been watching him second half of the season since the All-Star break, and especially down the stretch, they're getting him into situations where he's going downhill, like especially against small front lines. He's gotten a lot of N1s. He's gotten a lot of drives to the basket and finishes. They don't have anything for that. They don't. So that's why I say if he's aggressive mentally and you see him doing stuff like that and getting deep posts and putting in easy, just going over smaller players, then I don't know how you beat him. But if that's
a good point.
On the perimeter,
I think he has to be aggressive. Yeah.
But if he's on the perimeter and he's waiting for passes and he's a little soft with his rolls, off screen and roll, and then he's kind of like walking around like, I only have 2 shots in the first half. Oh, well, I'm not getting the ball. If he starts playing that game, then I'm sorry. This is going to be a tough series. That's why I said that he's most important. That was my reasoning behind that. But Mitchell Robinson, of course, he can change a game too.
And just have him healthy.
No, I agree. I agree with that. Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Jimmy, for the call. Rob in Florida. Don Hahn Rosenberg. What's up, man? Rob.
He's
there. Here he comes.
Hello?
Right there. Hello. What's
Hello?
going on? Yes.
I want to know who's the X factor for the Knicks. Is it Mikal Bridges? Is it somebody else?
Okay, so X factor, not named Brunson or Cat, and I'm going to say Bridges because he's probably the one that's going to be guarding Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who is really a huge part of their offense. Now, Jalen Johnson is going to get, he's a triple-double machine. OG Anunoby's going to guard him. That's going to be one of those. He's probably going to get his numbers, but you don't want to make it easy for him. But OG's too easy of an X factor. To me, if you really want to make this a short series, again, Nickeil Alexander, this is Johnson's first this is his first postseason experience. So he doesn't know what's coming. But Alexander Walker does. He's gotten to conference finals in the last 2 years in a row with Minnesota. Guy off the bench, but still, he knows what's coming. Bridges is going to be guarding him. And this is now Mikal Bridges. You played 82 games. You've had some moments, but another season where people are like, one night you're there, one night you're not. This is lock-in time now for him. This is now where Bridges really has to get people to stop talking about all the draft picks, just like he did last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, he did.
So do
Especially
it again.
Defensively. He came up with big blocks in that
Huge.
Boston series.
Yes. So this is a huge series for him on that front, is don't let that guy get hot, because we've seen him. When he can hit 7 or 8 threes in a game. No problem.
What, you got a hamburger update there, Peter?
I have the hamburger.
You do?
Is it good?
I turned the camera off and took a bite of the hamburger because I'm starving. This may be the best $50 ever spent.
Oh, really?
It's slamming. Absolutely slamming.
Can we see
and
it?
By the way, I can just show you here.
Get a look.
And also, a beautiful. The fries are like kind of that in between, like almost steak fry.
Yep.
Energy here. I'm trying to get. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what?
Really,
you made a wise
really nice
choice.
situation.
You're a
really
man
good
of
presentation.
Means. You're a man of means. You earn your money, and you deserve to. Did you overpay for it? Sure. But you know what? You got a little something. You got a little something for the effort.
No, it hit the spot. The timing of it, it was a great decision. I feel great about this choice.
Look at you. Making good choices.
Than you? Right
Making
now,
good choices.
No one.
That's
now,
right.
the NFL draft is coming up on Thursday, April 23rd, and New York is on the clock. The Jets have the 2nd pick and the 16th. The Giants are picking 5th. And Rick DiPietro and Dave Rothenberg are breaking it all down live. Join ESPN New York's Couchcast, the second screen for the NFL draft. Real-time reaction, instant takes, and everything New York fans care about. Watch along, react with us, and don't miss a single moment. ESPN New York's Couchcast on draft night is on April 23rd at 8 p.m., presented by Calandra's Bakery. All right, Mets lose 9 in a row. Not good. They were down 4-0, before you even sat down. We've got reaction, and we also have, before the game, what David Stearns had to say. He's on the trip.
No, I can't wait
so
to hear this.
He's seeing all this go down. A little overly optimistic for my take, but you know what? 1-800-919-3776. We've got Mets. We've got Knicks. Big series for the Yankees against Kansas City after what's been kind of a lackluster month for the New York Yankees. It's Don Hahn Rosenberg. Take you up until 7 o'clock right here on ESPN New York.
And, guys, I want to tell you about Rings End because, as I've been telling you about the project we're going to do at the house, it's moving forward. We're getting excited, making some adjustments to it. I'll tell you more about it as we get into the process because this is that time of year where home improvement and all those little things, this is when you really start getting back into that, right? So people say to me, like, Rings End, what are you doing with Rings End? What is it about them that you are so excited about? And this is what it simply is. They work with pro contractors. They work with my contractor. So I trust them. The pros trust them, so you can too. So they have an extensive inventory of built-to-last high-end product lines that the contractors rely on. So they do it right because they don't want to have to do it over. Rings End has showrooms with products you can touch and feel and try so you know exactly what you're getting. It's not just ordering out of a catalog, you know what I mean? Or just trusting a contractor who just gets it from anywhere. You say, no, check out what they have at Rings End for me too. And if you can't make it to a store, you can shop online at ringsend.com. That's ringsend.com.
You think? Now it's time for traffic and Susie Cerrone.
Hey there, guys. Thanks. If you're headed down to this stadium for the 7:05 game, get going now. It's already really slow on the Deegan southbound stop and go from Van Cortlandt Park. And the inbound, George, a solid 20 minutes for either deck. The Cross Bronx to the George 45. Outbound Lincoln or Holland 20. The stalled tractor trailer is still there on the Deegan. It's northbound by the stadium. It's got the right lane out. And there's an accident on the northbound Bruckner near East Tremont Avenue, blocking a lane. We're sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, at the forefront of care and research for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org. I'm Susie Cerrone for 880 ESPN New York.
It's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of New Jersey is offering up to 25% off windows and doors and 0% financing for 24 months. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2026.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SCHEV.
Just like the New Jersey Devils protect their home ice, Viking Pest Control protects your home. And I know because I use Viking at my own place. As the pest control provider and proud partner of the New Jersey Devils, Viking brings 45 years of trust, experience, and expert service to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, and even mosquitoes out of your zone. Their local team builds a personalized game plan that actually works. And when you bundle pest control with mosquito services, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com, protecting your home inside and out. So the Mets lose today, 9th straight loss.
Yikes.
David Stearns is on the trip, and so obviously he spoke to the media before the game to discuss the state of the team. So this is obviously before the loss today against Chicago. And David said, what's been going on with the team?
We haven't played good baseball for the last week, for sure. Had a tough time scoring runs. It's a combination of we're not hitting great. We also ran into some good pitching, and we need to play better. And I think we will. I'm very confident we will. And it can start today.
All right, so nothing happened. He said nothing. He, literally said nothing. All right? That was 10 seconds of pure pap. I know they're not hitting. I know they're not winning. Oh, but you're confident. Okay, of course you're confident. You know, I would feel weird if you said, I think we're done. And it could start today. Didn't. So, still no wins since the confidence tweet from Cohen, and they didn't bounce there. All right, this should be fun. On the job Mendoza is doing.
I think Mendy's doing a very good job. I think Mendy is putting players in positions to succeed, and we need to go out and play better.
Okay, again.
Blaming the players.
David, why is the team's chase rate rising?
I think we're trying to score runs, and sometimes you got to let the pitcher come to you, and that's really easy for me to say. And it's really easy for me to watch a game and think that, and it's a heck of a lot tougher when you're in the box and you want to make something happen. And so we talked about urgency, and I know you guys have asked about urgency. Urgency is not the problem here. There's plenty of urgency. There's plenty of want, and sometimes that can lead to things like chase rate, unfortunately. I think that ends with one bases clearing double. We've all seen that time and again throughout our careers in baseball, and I think once we get that, it'll normalize.
All right, fitting music in the background. Now, chase rate, obviously, just in case you didn't connect the dots, they're chasing after pitches out of the strike zone, which kind of makes sense. Like he said, you're down, you're struggling, you're trying to make things happen, which also tells you that they want to win. It's a tired old, they're not playing with a sense of urgency, they're dead. That's what it looks like when you're not scoring runs.
Right.
I don't think there's a lack of try. I just think there's a lack of just ability right now. David, is it taking a while for the team to gel?
I think there are adjustment periods. I think that's natural. I think specifically in New York, there are adjustment periods. We've seen that time and again. My sense, you guys who are around the team on a daily basis can sense it probably, and talking to our players, but my sense is our team has gelled pretty well. I think it was a focus in spring training. I think guys spent a lot of time together in spring training. Part of being a good team over 6-7 month stretch is finding your identity through adversity. And we're facing adversity right now. It's really an earlier stage than any of us expected or wanted, but this has an opportunity to be part of our story, help us find our identity, come through this, and understand we have the ability to do that. And based on the guys we have and the quality of work and the quality of people, I believe we will be able to do that.
Now, I'm having some fun with David Stearns. What else is he going to say?
Right.
Right. But I do take issue with the tone. Like, can we have a little anger? Can you be a little upset?
But he's got to be himself, though, Don. See, I know what you're saying. I agree with you. I think somebody needs to be pissed off.
Well, somebody.
You know, Mendy tried it 2 nights ago. That didn't really hit. But I don't think Stern, that's not who he is. And you don't want a guy going out of character.
Well, but
nobody would buy it.
But I'm not saying to be performative.
Okay.
I'm just saying you can be optimistic. You could still tell us it's early. But just in the tone of, I don't like what's going on here. This is not what I built. This is not how I designed this to go. Now, I believe it'll turn around because otherwise I wouldn't have gotten these players in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that it's still early enough for us to be able to turn it around. But at least acknowledge the fact that at the time he said this, they've lost 8 in a row. Now they've lost 9. A little bit later on, we'll hear from Mendoza. I saw he already spoke after the game. I get the optimism, but at some point it just comes across as being performative the other way. Like now you're going overboard with your optimism. You're being overboard with your positivity.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets mad, Alan. It may not be your nature to use it and to scream and yell and rant the way I do, but even if you're an introvert, even if you're somebody that's overwhelmingly positive, at some point you should be able to express disappointment in a team that you built that is right now in last place and riding a 9-game losing streak. Somebody needs to get upset or at least express the fact that this is just not something that's it's excusable. There's no excuse for this. And I know Soto's out. And the expectation, as you're going to hear from David Stearns here, that he's going to be back sooner than later.
Expectation we'll see Juan Soto on the next homestand?
That is my expectation, yes.
That's good. But he's one man. As great as he is, is he just going to solve all their problems?
Oh, he didn't before he left.
Yeah, and it wasn't like that they were, tearing the cover off the ball when he was here.
Yeah, but it's the easy excuse to make, though, of course, because, without your most important offensive player, but shouldn't you build a team that can survive it? It's always about what it looks like, and before Soto's injury, we all knew that there was something not right. They talked about it in spring training. And that was, I think, the question that he was asked that he was answering about when it comes to the team. And he talked about they did a lot of team bonding stuff. Like, I think it needs to be just asked straight out. It needs to be talked about more. But because Soto's not around to play every day, I guess it's not something they're talking about. But, Don, some things are getting obvious. One of them is Senga. Do you see his line today?
Oh, yeah, bad.
He was terrible.
He's been okay this year, but now you're moving in a different direction.
He was supposed to be your ace. He got hurt. And when he came back, there was nothing ace about him.
No.
The ghost pitch is not anything anymore. Like, there's just whatever it was, it's gone. Like, they got to, like, at some point, you cut bait. Like, at some point, all right, it's not there anymore.
Well, here's the questions to Carlos Mendoza about Senga.
Are you guys committed to him making his next start?
We have finished a game here, so as of right now, he's in line. But we got an off day. We'll see. I got to talk to David and the pitching guys.
So
Great question by Gelbsy. Right? Great question by Gelbsy.
Yeah, he's terrific. But that tells me right now they're going to have a conversation.
You have to.
They're probably having it right now. Does he make his next start in 5 days?
You have to.
Carlos on Senga's start to the season.
Started up pretty good. First couple of outings coming out of spring training, we saw a different guy. But then the last 2, I think the intent hasn't been there. We saw the velo at the beginning, and now it's more like feeling for the strike zone, more like pitchability, trying to mix cutter, sweeper, as opposed to going right after people, which was what we saw in spring training the first 2 outings. So 2 good one, and the last 2 not so much.
What does that sound like to you when he says that? Not going after pitchers, trying to mess with the zone.
No, he's not feeling it.
He's no confidence and fatigue. Right.
Well, remember when he first came here, he was like 7th in Cy Young, but there was concern whether he can go every 5 days.
Well, yeah. So
and then he gets hurt.
Those 2 things. I mean, again, fatigue makes cowards of us all. He seems like what he's describing in the last 2 outings sounds like somebody that does not believe in what he's throwing and is being as careful as he can and it not going after anybody. There's no bravado, no confidence, no nothing right now. And maybe he's fatiguing. Maybe he's breaking down already. Maybe it, again, it's just not there.
Well, can't be counted on. As somebody that looked like he could be the ace, and now all of a sudden there's conversation about him again being out of the rotation.
Yeah.
And finally, Mendoza on the snowball effect of bad luck in the midst of their losing streak.
You can have that type of mindset. We got to be able to flip the switch here, because if we start making excuses, it feels that way. But, at the end of the day, we just got to go out there and execute.
No. Awful answer. Awful. This is where now, when he gets a question like that about, the bad luck and all that stuff, this is where he's got to, kick over the desk and tell everybody, get out of here. You're going to ask me crap like that, get out of here. We're not that kind of team. We better not be.
Don't
sit there and say,
don't even accept or allow into the room the idea they're not catching breaks.
Give me no.
Now, again,
way.
I brought this up the other day with the Devils, right? I mean, the Devils weren't scoring goals, and you're doing the broadcast, and they hit the post, or somebody wouldn't convert on a breakaway, or a goaltender would make an unbelievable save. And it would be the instinct would be, man, they can't catch a break.
Right.
But you know who can't catch a break? Teams that aren't very good. Teams that are, no, I'm serious.
It's true. No, you're right.
I'm sure the Avalanche hit posts and have goals stolen from them, but they still find a way to score 5 at the end of the night and win the game 5-2. Right? Bad breaks are going to happen to everybody, but you only notice the bad breaks on the losing teams because they can't afford to have bad breaks. They can't afford to have anything go wrong because they hardly do anything right. And as a manager, you can't let that creep in, even for a moment, to make them think, hey, we're just not catching the breaks. Don't worry about it. It'll turn around. The worm will turn. Eventually, those line drives are going to find a hole. Eventually we're going to catch a break. And the focus should be on what is wrong with this team and to fix it. Waiting for it to just all of a sudden turn around. I know it's a long season, but God, we're almost a month in now. It goes by fast because you play every day. And all of a sudden, that 4-game winning streak they had, we're complimenting them. Hey, without Soto, they won 4 in a row. They followed it up losing 9 straight.
Yeah.
I can't
Tom, we're
believe
at the 20-game
mark.
You're at the 20-game mark. You're 20 in now. You kind of get a feel for what you are. But when you start talking that way about, he's hit some bad luck too while this is going on, how tough is that? It's not tough. It's not tough. This is what I mean. His answer sounds like a guy who doesn't have any answers. And he's he's sounding defeated now.
Does it? If we're being critical, though, Don, do his answers sound different than sort of what Boone's answers are like when things are bad? To me, it just sounds very mechanical and
that's where he
business.
came from.
Right. And so it's just the same thing to me. It's like and by the way, I say that not to diss Boone, but just to point out that practically feels like the new way. Managers don't really seem to, very rarely do these guys light any sort of matches, it feels like.
Well,
I think Boone does.
A little.
Anthony,
but it's a
correct
lot
me
of
if I'm wrong. Anthony?
A lot of talky talk when things go bad for them.
There are times I know that Boone does kind of grit his teeth when he's talking, when he knows the team's going through something. Because, first of all, we all know, he hides it well a lot of times at the podium. He's got an immense amount of passion. Aaron Boone does.
Oh, for sure.
He definitely does.
No, he cares deeply.
I give him credit for how he squelches it sometimes because we know, we've seen him flip out. We know. So, but there are times he talks through his teeth and you can hear it.
Right, because he's being told to stay positive.
Right, but Mendoza there, it sounded like, I don't know.
I hear what you're saying, but man, we're mincing here. I mean, it's.
Well, you got to analyze this stuff, man.
No, I guess you're right. But isn't it embarrassing?
Going to go.
You literally just had to give credit to Aaron Boone's ability to grit his teeth through the positive that he says. Like, it's just such a low bar these days. I mean, Sparky Anderson, God bless him, is rolling over in his grave. Where's Jim Leland smoking a heater and screaming at someone right now? We want these guys, and we're talking about Mendoza, just like, wake up. This is bad. This is 9 straight.
Well, that's why we went crazy with the Rick Bowness stuff the other day and playing the sound, because it's so rare that you hear a coach or a manager tear into his team. And by the way, Columbus gave him a contract extension, so he's back next year.
There you go.
Which is nice. But it takes a 71-year-old man who has no blanks left to rip into a team. Otherwise, it's all by design. Don't tear into the players. Don't show any kind of level of concern. Don't show any panic. But I think the real good ones, the best ones, are the ones that can keep it calm but yet still send that message out there that what you're seeing is unacceptable. Because at the end of the day, you're selling a product. You're selling your fans on what your product is. And now the fans watch the postgame and they feel like you're tone deaf. You're not paying attention. You're lying to us. When Aaron Boone grits his teeth and stays positive, the fans see through that and go, no, give us the negative. I want to hear I want to know that you're seeing the same thing that I'm seeing. But the players obviously can't take it. The organizations want to keep everything upbeat. But I think in New York, where we really pay attention, especially to baseball, but to all the sports, we know when we're being fed garbage. And I wish that these PR directors and these owners would realize, you know what, the fans are a lot smarter than that, okay? You're not fooling. You might be fooling a few of them. But you're certainly not fooling the media. They've been around too long. They're too good at what they do. And you're certainly not fooling the fans that are there and watching every night. That when a guy goes 0 for 4 and doesn't even foul a ball off, I thought he had some good swings. No. You see that one foul ball he hit? It almost went out of the stadium. It's like, and then when you get an owner to say it, a guy that's not qualified to talk baseball, sit there and say, if it was warmer out, there'd be a home run. Mm-hmm. Come on, man. You're playing games with us. But we're not infants.
He's also, like, again, Mendoza's also running out of after losing to the Dodgers, getting swept by the Dodgers, right? The whole they're pissed. I want them to be pissed, right? Like, all right, I want them to be mad. I don't like our approach to some of these at-bats and all that stuff. But then you lose like you do today, where you don't get a chance because your starting pitching doesn't give you a chance. That's when you can start to hear the resignation in his voice. Like, what am I going to do? Start ripping them every game? I mean, my starters sucked, and I can't say that.
Yeah, you can't say it. And,
right?
And listen, I don't know what kind of leg he has to stand on, because even without Soto, God, they got an off day on Monday. If they come back home for that homestand against Minnesota to start on an 11-game losing streak,
it's going to be quiet, which is not what you want in that building.
But they will catch a break. And I'll tell you that coming up. More of your calls at 1-800-919-3776. And, of course, we have ENN coming up at 6, live from Vegas. Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
If you're trying to save money but still eat well, just go to Wild Fork Foods and thank me later. You get pork tenderloin for $2.50 a pound, ground turkey for $3 a pound, ground chorizo for only $4 a pound. Those are everyday staples at serious value, and it's all blast frozen, so you're not sacrificing quality. Plus, they've got over 450 options, 7 locations, or same-day delivery at wildforkfoods.com. Go check out Wild Fork Foods.
25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet number in your ears. Check it in a year, check it in 5. This ain't optimum 5, but price is still alive. 25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet number in your ears.
Get Optimum famously fast fiber internet. Optimum.com/25 for 5. Or call 8884-OPTIMUM.
Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Breaking news for your home. Wayday. Wayfair's big sale is almost here, and you can score the best deals in home. Like up to 80% off everything home. Yes, you heard that right. 80% off with free shipping on everything. Plus surprise flash deals all Wayday long. We're talking outdoor furniture and essentials, rugs, and more. All at Wayfair. And all up to 80% off during Wayday. Shop Wayfair's Wayday from April 25th through 27th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
In today's fast-moving job market, staying ahead means keeping your skills sharp. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we help keep your capabilities cutting edge. with our skills-based education programs designed to move your career forward. Explore more than 135 degrees and certificates in business, cybersecurity, and more. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
1 in every 6 men is likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime. That's why New York Presbyterian wants to remind men over 50 to book a prostate cancer screening. A simple blood test is all it takes. It could save your life. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester at locations near you. Schedule your annual prostate cancer screening today at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
NBA fans, listen up. You can enter FanDuel's Play-In Palooza for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets every day of the Play-In tournament. All you have to do is place a live bet using your Play-In Palooza token. Then you'll automatically be entered for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. So don't just watch the NBA Play-In tournament from the sidelines. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get into the action. And don't forget to enter FanDuel Play-In Palooza. All you have to do is place a live bet using your Play-In Palooza token for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Limit 1 entry. Profit boost bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost token. Prize is issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467369.
We all know winning means showing up stronger, faster, better than before. And when you're chasing that edge, the Drop by GNC cuts through the noise, bringing you the best new innovations in sports nutrition and performance. From muscle building and strength support to improved recovery and focus, we curate the newest drops from GNC Amp, Pro Performance, and Mega Min. Plus, Ghost, Raw Nutrition, Bucked Up, and the top new brands changing the game. No guesswork, just leveling up. Check out the Drop by GNC for what's new, what works, and what's next.
Do you read more about your team in the off-season than in the season? Does your game day outfit include a brown bag with eye holes? Then you may be a fan of a BST or bad sports team. Luckily, when you bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive, you're protected. Because seeing your painted face in the rearview mirror after a loss isn't just depressing. It's distracting. Visit Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Covered subject to policy terms. Not available in all states or situations.
Now, the reason that the Mets catch a break here are the New York Knicks. Now, the Mets will play before the Knicks tomorrow, but, once the Knicks go on this run in the day in and day out, there won't be a lot of talk about what the Mets are doing if the Knicks are on a run, because we saw that last year, right, guys? It was almost as if we had to kind of all right, let's catch back up with baseball once the Knicks were eliminated by the Pacers.
Yeah, it was like
because
2 months, yeah.
When you go on a nice run and how popular the Knicks are, that's going to be a nice little distraction. Now, obviously, diehard Met fans are still going to watch. I'm still going to watch the Mets. But as far as, the constant conversation about what's wrong with them, well, there's going to be talk about what the Knicks are doing. So that's probably going to help them just a little bit coming home. But they're coming home. Minnesota's off to a really good start, but they're not a great team. You've got, Colorado, Washington. You got some winnable games there, but I'm sure those teams are coming in going, well, let's take on the Mets. This is a good time to be catching them. But, God, what kind of reaction are they going to get on Tuesday when they come home if they still haven't ended this losing streak?
Well, you're a diehard fan. How would you be? If you were an insurance salesman and, you would go to occasional Met games, you had a chance to get tickets to that game, so you're going to the game. What's your mood?
Well, not good. I mean, how could you be happy?
But are you at that place early in the season where the first sign of trouble early in the game, you start booing?
Yeah. I think I'm not a booer, per se.
Okay.
You're not. Me neither.
But hey, this is not what you bargained for, right? I mean, how are you supposed to react?
Yeah.
And it's just so disappointing, but unfortunately we've been here quite a bit. So we kind of be used to it. But,
What you said the other day that obviously everybody saw, the Oliver Twist. We'll call that the Oliver Twist.
We
rant.
probably have clips of it, too. It was quite good.
It really did encapsulate the frustration of being a Mets fan. And the problem that I had because I shared it, and it's amazing what people respond.
Right.
And how many people that felt like you were out of touch about it, which I don't get, because what you described is when you root for a team, like you're waiting for those pockets of time, like what the Knicks have right now. Like we're in a 5-year span right now where they've been good every year, right? Good. And they're in the playoffs. You have the audacity now to think, can they win it, to demand them winning a championship. Think about that for a minute. Now, we've also known the Knicks in this century to go 7 years without making the playoffs, which is a pain. Then they had a small 3-year window that wasn't long enough. So that's the part that's more a Mets fan. What you're looking for is just to give me an era, right? Give me just a generation. Give me a group of players that for 5 or 6 years, we're good every year. We have the audacity to think they can win a championship. Not, like you said, which is always, it has to be this amazing thing that's happening, a miracle run.
Right.
I think there's nothing wrong with that.
One of the reactions I got that not bothered me, but I was like troubled by it was like, so I can't tell Don what to think, but he didn't enjoy going to the league championship series 2 years ago.
That's not the point. It's not.
I enjoyed it. It was fun. But what you're telling me by saying, hey, they could do it again. Do what again? Go on a miracle run, get into the playoffs, come close, and then follow it up with like 3 straight years of missing the playoffs? Because that's all this franchise ever does.
Don, what was give me the era. What's the era? Like the 90s Knicks or the 90s Knicks. Obviously, the 90s Yankees.
Their era is the late 80s, all right? Before the wild card.
So 84?
84, 85, 86, 87, 88. So basically 84 through 90. They were consistently good. If there had been a wild card, they would have gone to the playoffs every year.
Right.
And maybe would have gone to a couple more World Series, but you had to win your division, and all they were able to do it was in 86 and 88.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they came up short. But since the only 2 times this franchise has ever gone to back-to-back postseasons was in 99-2000 and then in 15-16. In the 60-plus year history of the franchise, only twice did they go to the postseason in back-to-back years. Their whole history has been little flares, little runs here and there. So when you tell me, oh, Don, stay positive. So, yeah, they could turn it around, and they could find a way to get it together. But is it sustainable, or is it just, hey, that's baseball, Susan, and sometimes you put it together and you make a run, but I want to be what the Knicks are right now. 5 straight years going to the playoffs. Each year getting a little bit better. Making decisions not to save, face after a miserable season, but, hey, what's going to get us to the next level? I want to build towards something here.
Mm-hmm.
Not just continue to throw one more piece of wood on the fire, hoping it burns a little bit longer, so maybe I get something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having that internal flame that's always there and never goes out and every year is great because they've got the money, they got the ballpark, they got the network, they got the city, they got the fan support, that they should be able to have that consistency, and yet they never do. And then the fans long for the flares as if that's the standard. It has been the standard for the Mets, but it shouldn't be accepted as the standard. And that's what I'm glad you got it and that Peter gets it. But a lot of fans that just, Don complaining or, giving up on it. I'm not giving up. I'm still watching. But I'm seeing
listen,
the reality.
I can tell you guys firsthand, I heard Don, being the old man that he is, trying to find the ball game on the TV when he was confused by the cable channels.
We were doing it. I wasn't confused. No. Here's the state of the Mets right now. They were on Channel 11, and the guide said, Judge Judy was on or whatever.
Yeah. The guy didn't even feel like it wasn't even worth it.
Because, we want people to click on our channel, so don't tell them Mets Cubs are on.
But people should have heard Don going, what channel's the Met game on? And Anthony
I felt like Larry David.
No, by the way,
no, it's not.
Anthony's going, it's on 11. And he's like, no, it's not. Then John jumps in, Winthrop. Well, no, where is it? It's on 11. No, it's not. I don't see it.
Yeah. Anthony's like, Grandpa, give me the remote. I'll do it.
But we live in an era where if the display tells you something's on, fighting chance that's what's on.
Usually.
So it wasn't Judge Judy. It was like it was some like
what was it, Anthony?
Knockoff
what was on
of
the
Judge
TV?
Judy.
No, it was something. Judge Judy something.
It was
Judy something or other.
It was something wacky, and it was.
Here's what it didn't say: New York Mets baseball.
It did not say that. No.
It should say Mets at Cubs.
Yeah.
I stopped, but I'm still putting it on.
But you were looking for it.
Yeah.
You were looking for it. Yes.
And by the time it all got sorted out, it was already 4-0.
On the other side of ENN, I do want to. I have one more Met thing to throw at you, but I know we're late. But this is an important one too.
All right.
As you're talking about sustainability and all that stuff.
I like it. I like your thinking. But ENN is next, live from Vegas. Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Step inside the game you love with the NBA app. Tap to watch every game as it's happening.
Jalen Brunson does it again!
And never miss a moment of the jaw-dropping action. Get closer to the players than anywhere else. Follow the latest schedules, scores, and stats. Keep up with every story from across the league. And with NBA ID, it's all personalized to you. The game lives here. Download today.
Now it's time for traffic and Susie Cerrone.
Hey, guys, have a great weekend. That stalled tractor trailer on the Deegan northbound by the stadium cleared from the right lane. And ouch, the Deegan southbound, you've got delays from just about the Westchester line down to the stadium, so get going. Inbound George, it's calmed down a bit. It's 15 for either deck. Cross Bronx to the George, at least 40 minutes. Outbound Lincoln or Holland, 20 minutes apiece. Crash on the northbound Bruckner at East Tremont Avenue is blocking a lane. Injury accident, single laning on the Palisades northbound at exit 10. Just the right lane gets by. You're backed up from exit 7. Thruway northbound sluggish 8 to 13. And folks headed down the shore. Why? The Parkway southbound is sluggish already. 98 to exit 82. I'm Susie Cerrone for 880 ESPN New York.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Long Island is more exciting than ever at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. This month, we're cracking open spring with our $55,000 Explosion drawing. Earn entries all month long, then be here Thursday, April 30th from 4 to 6 p.m. when 2 winners will be drawn every hour to win cash prizes ranging from $2,500 to $10,000. At 7 p.m., 1 winner will be drawn to hatch the grand prize of $20,000 at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They're not just window and door experts. They're experts at taking care of you and your home. At Pella, they find the products that meet your needs and their experts install them. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Discover why Pella is a trusted choice for homeowners everywhere. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. That's Pella.com/Eisen.
Harry Douglas here. Let me ask you something. What if you can enjoy the taste of a cocktail, the warmth of a spirit, and still stay fully in control? That's RK Zero Proof, a pioneer in the alcohol-free spirits category. RK delivers bold flavor and a real warming sensation with 0 alcohol, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and 0 calories. Perfect for nights out, social gatherings, or anytime you want the experience of a drink without sacrificing tomorrow. Check it out at rkbeverages.com. That's ARKAY beverages.com. RK, all the flavor, none of the alcohol.
DiPietro and Rothenberg's NFL Draft Couchcast, April 23rd, exclusively on the ESPN New York YouTube channel, WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. This is an ENN Special Report. Now reporting...
The very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports. Do what you want. It's ENN.
Hi, everyone. How are you? Good, grand. Welcome to ENN.
Ray-Ro.
You ever watch YouTube?
I'd like to, first of all, welcome you to this big ENN and tell you that it's brought to you by our dearest of friends at Fanatics Fest NYC. And with that, I'll start ENN by saying good evening to Don.
I get it, buddy. You want your Knicks. You want the Knicks in you.
That was an interesting way of putting it, I thought. We say good evening to Don.
Peter is guaranteed movement, and when you guarantee movement, we don't wait.
No.
Good evening to Alan.
It's a disagreement gong.
And to Alan.
I'm gonging that.
And
People
good
love
evening
the
to
gong.
myself. Danhausen had uncursed the Mets. That was believed to have happened 2 days ago.
That did not work.
The unfortunate news is...
Still never found out who that was?
No, you know these people.
Hello,
call
would
the
you like
house
to
number.
sell your home?
Exactly. They want you to call back right away. You ever get the ones that leave a message? It's hello, and then it's a recorded message.
Oh, yeah, that's big these days.
Oh, my God. Yeah, no, I don't even know why we have this thing. I'll rip it out of the wall in a second.
No, they're good to have. That's a real landline?
I mean, yeah.
It's like it's
not off the telephone pole. It's internet phone.
Oh, so it's still not a
but
real
it's a
landline.
home. It's the home number thing.
Yeah, but it's fake.
I guess.
But why don't you use a?
It's not
if
from
you're
Ma
gonna do
Bell.
that- If you're going to use that, why don't you use a regular landline?
Because to get the whole internet package thing at the whatever deal it is, you got to have that too.
I do have a landline. I
Don, you have a proper landline?
I do.
Really?
I mean, nobody uses it. Like, my mom calls on it.
Of course.
So there's a few people.
But in the times we live in, it is recommended and a good idea to keep a real landline if you can. Because if the digital were to go out, if your cell phones go out and electricity goes out, the beauty of the true landline is you could still use your landline.
I guess.
I mean, listen,
don't even know if it is attached to the house anymore, to be honest with you.
That's fair. I like the disagreement gong. Yeah, I like the disagreement.
The disagreement gong, I think, is a thing, Don. Whether you like it or not.
Well, I mean, it's useless, but if it entertains people, I guess.
No, but that's the thing. You know, Don really rules with an iron fist. He doesn't even want to have any disagreement.
I can't have my rulings compromised. Now, if you guys want to have fiddle about and have your little reindeer games, that's great. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. It's not going to change. It's not going to change my view. I rule once you hear that.
It's not about changing your view. It's about including mine.
See? It's about having your voice heard. It's called Merca.
Thank you, Peter.
I'd like to say good evening also to Don.
More, please.
Good evening, Don.
Have some more gruel, please.
The voice is fantastic.
And to Don.
Yay!
And, of course, to Monica McNutt.
Way too short, way too bald, not my type.
Oh.
It hurts more today than yesterday. I'll be honest. To hear how prepared she was.
Yeah.
It's not like Don prepped her and said, hey, I'm going to suggest maybe you're into Peter. It was just a random joke he decided to make live. And then she says this back instantly.
Way too short, way too bald, not my type.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that was ready.
And really tough. Now, but listen, that was one ESPN colleague having a tough moment with another ESPN colleague. Well, today I went on First Take, and it was a really good time. I did a couple of segments, but they had, WWE superstars practically on every segment, including at one point they had Logan Paul on a segment where it was Stephen A. and Shay, but the other person at the desk was not me. It was David Dennis. And, well, things didn't go well.
I'm going to challenge you this morning. I know you don't want to be challenged because it's early, but I'm going to challenge you. LA Knight, Usos, your opponents. Say one nice thing about them.
No. Bro, who are you, by the way? I thought you were Peter Rosenberg. All of a sudden, Pete Rosenberg was sitting right here, and then they just swapped with this guy, bro, telling me to say nice things. That's not my thing, bro. No.
I asked a similar question in the beginning. He wouldn't answer.
Wouldn't
for
do
me
it. Wouldn't
either,
do it.
so,
Yeah.
you know.
I don't blame him. Why should he say something nice? They're the opposition. I'm mad at you.
Nah, bro, what is this? What is this? This is WrestleMania. I look over there.
So
I
there
see
you go. It was an
empty
unfortunate.
stadium.
I'd be lying to you if I said it didn't make me happy that Logan Paul requested my presence. But these are the unfortunate things that happen. ESPN on ESPN crime. I've seen it a million times. I mean, you remember what Don famously said about some of our lovely colleagues based just on Kevin Negandi's suit.
You're a sex-starved filth bag.
No,
you got the job, yes!
That's
there
what
it
I
is. There, Kevin Negandi seems like one of the nicest people who works for the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah, he is.
He simply wore a suit that I probably pointed out initially. It was probably me going, wow.
Yeah.
Negandi with quite a suit today, because I'm a big suit analyzer while we sit in the seat.
And was it summer or spring? So he had something that had some color, had some pop.
No, he was aggressive.
Yeah.
And Don went so crazy criticizing the suit that it landed on saying this.
You got the job, yes!
Listen to the vitriol. You would like this man. You have no problems with him, Don.
Oh, I'm sure I would. Because Alan likes him, and I
like
think
him.
Alan's got a good judge.
Big
of
Philly sports guy. Big Philly sports guy, yeah. But,
well, that's not, you're not naming positive traits.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you were trying to.
Yeah, I thought we were trying to
encourage me
make this
continue to like him.
Yeah, I don't know. That was
No,
an interesting choice.
I used that for a reason. I figured it would set you off.
Now
I like that segment though, Peter. I thought that was great.
Did you watch the segment?
Him wanting you.
That
you there,
yes,
and that whole thing. Like that's.
No. It's always nice. But we had a great time. I interviewed Triple H and Roman Reigns with Stephen A. and Shay, and that was pretty cool. They had a setup at Allegiant Stadium right near where the WWE set will be tomorrow. So if you missed First Take, it's it probably already aired 7 times today. So if you didn't catch it now, what are you doing?
Yeah.
We didn't play this. Is this Graziano from yesterday, Anthony? I think it may be.
Tremendous question.
Yeah. Here's Dan Graziano on Get Up. Asked about the possibilities of Joe Shane losing his job after the draft.
I don't think it's 100%, but I do think it's a situation people are watching because of the extent to which John Harbaugh has gone in there, sort of claimed control of a lot of things, and made a lot of changes in the way the organization operates. So I understand why the speculation is out there, and I think it's fair. I just don't have actionable, solid intel that says, oh, they're going to move in this direction.
Well,
not that it hasn't been done before, where you work a draft and then get fired. We've
the
seen
logic is, it didn't happen to McCagnon.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Harbaugh's running the draft. They're going to get Harbaugh players. Harbaugh's making the decisions. But Joe Shane, I think, was a liaison to help Harbaugh figure all this stuff out, learn the team. Because remember, it was Joe Shane that modernized everything in the building. You probably needed somebody to show you around, figure it all out, and you've already done the work on the draft because they always do these things a couple of years ahead of time. And then once the draft is done and the season is about to happen, Joe, thank you. I think I got it now. Remember, they never gave him a contract extension, so all it would be is your contract is run out.
Mm-hmm.
We see no need to extend your contract because I'm good. I got it. I'm probably going to bring in my own guy, somebody that I'm comfortable with, but I do appreciate you hanging around and helping me out.
Yeah,
Now,
it's you've been scouting the whole season, like all that, like you just said, like it's all the work's already in there. Just let's do that here and we keep it moving. But he is dealing with Dexter Lawrence. He is speaking about it, so I think it goes beyond the draft, right?
But I think he's doing Harbaugh's bidding.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Well, just that Harbaugh's probably like, hey, listen, this is what you're going to offer him. And if he doesn't take it, then he can sit out.
Now, there's more from Graziano on the Dexter Lawrence situation.
he's the one who's issuing the trade request and unhappy with his contract and everything. The Giants would happily have him on their team this year and next year and beyond. So they already did kind of a sweetener in the deal last year in terms of adding in some incentives. So with 2 years left on the contract, I don't think the Giants are super eager to do another adjustment. Add in the fact that everyone's obsessed right now, 6 days before the 2026 draft, everyone's obsessed with the 2027 draft. So, like, if the Giants didn't trade Dexter Lawrence between now and Thursday, that wouldn't necessarily put an end to this saga because they could still get, 2027 draft picks if they eventually trade him later this summer. So I think this lasts a while.
Well, not what you want.
At some point, he's going to have to make a decision. Am I willing to miss training camp? I'm sure he won't report to camp.
Mm-hmm.
It'll become a story. But at some point, he's going to decide, am I going to have this affect the way that I play, affect my season? And he's going to say no, because he's got to play to get his contract. Just has to. There is no way that he's going to get a contract holding out. And if he thinks that holding out till the trade deadline, that somebody is going to give the Giants what he's worth on Halloween, how many weeks into the season, and you haven't played?
Mm-hmm.
Coming off a terrible season?
When's that ever worked?
This is an interesting one, guys. Wide receiver Zay Flowers went on the Fourth and South podcast, which I know you guys are familiar with, and had a lot to say about the way things were done under the Harbaugh regime in Baltimore. He said full pads all the time. However many practices and pads you can get, every single one. We're doing one-on-ones in Week 17. Week 17, we're doing one-on-ones. Everybody's out there. We're tired. We're still going. Asked how the players manage that workload, Flowers replied, we don't. That's why we had a lot of injuries, because of how we practiced, how we went. The load was heavy. Obviously, two ways to look at that. There's from one angle, and I feel like all three of us could kind of see both sides. One is, of course, that's a very modern athlete way to look at it, and you sound like a baby, and the hard practices didn't lead to injuries. And then on the flip side, I'm sure Don, as a Giants fan, is going, is that a good thing, or is this something that does not work anymore? And how will Harbaugh get it to work or not work here in New York?
Well, remember, he's gone, right? So the players are all going to say, well, he's the reason why we didn't win.
Yep.
He worked us too hard. We had the disappointing end to the season because of him. And then the new guy comes in, and he's going to be like, well, I'm not going to work you as hard. And that benefits the players because nobody wants to work harder than they think they should. On the other hand, I think there's more evidence of players getting hurt when they're not being pushed. They're not wearing pads. They're not prepared for the start of the season because training camp is not what it used to be. You're already down to 3 preseason games, soon to be 2 when they go into an 18-game schedule. So to me, I want them to be worked harder so they're better prepared and have a better chance of staying healthy. I don't have the analytics in front of me, but doesn't it feel like more injuries happen now because guys just aren't ready for opening day?
That's how that is how it feels to me now. Are they still doing it in Week 17? Is that the thing? I don't know. You know, Alan, it always feels to me that, like, even on good teams, like the teams that get it right, it does feel like when you get down that final month of the season getting ready for the playoffs or fighting for the playoffs, it's really poured into Sunday, and there's a lot of, like, no pads and walkthroughs, and there's not a lot of intense stuff at the end of the year, it seems like, with most teams.
With most teams, but – keep in mind, too, if I'm not mistaken, Baltimore's issues last season were not at the end of the year. It was in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
They were hurt early. They weren't hurt late. His thing about how we wore down as the season went on is inaccurate. As far as I'm concerned, right? Like, tell me I'm wrong.
Didn't they have a couple of major injuries late, too?
I thought they were early. I thought the early stuff, they were affected early in the season. But regardless, though, it is also the type of player you're getting. First of all, is Zay Flowers known as one of these, gritty type players?
Not that I know of.
No. Look, that's why, to me, the general manager position is so critical because it goes beyond just talent. We all like to play that game and just throw talent together to always work. Like we talked about this with the Met thing. You have to understand your player that goes beyond what they can do. It's not stratomatic. It's not just numbers. So is this guy a worker? Or is this guy somebody that, doesn't really have that kind of drive about him? Not to say that he's lazy. It's just different. We have a coach that believes in pads all season, that will have at least one hard practice each week to keep you sharp from getting soft. Not everybody likes that. I think all that stuff has to be in consideration with all the research you do on players that you're targeting to get to whether it's in the draft or whether it's in free agency. That's why you can't just go by numbers. You can't just go by stats. If I have a coach that's going to coach this way, I need a team that's going to play that way, that all responds to it. He clearly is not somebody that liked it, and he couldn't wait to tell people about it.
But when there's failure, and they've obviously made Harbaugh into the scapegoat, it's not Lamar Jackson's fault. It wasn't the player's fault. Now we're going to get rid of the coach. Right. Shouldn't that be the theme? Everybody that stayed is, all right, we got rid of the guy that was holding us up from winning. Right? I mean, so I would expect them to show support to the new regime.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know any player that wants to be worked harder than they want to. And then when you don't win, it looks bad. But Minter's going to come in. What's Minter going to do? Minter's going to probably kind of cave and be a little bit more of a player's coach, rely, and we'll see if it works.
Well, he understands Baltimore's culture, so he knows what goes on there
right.
and what needs to happen, and what the identity of that team is. But look, we're old school, you and me. Mm-hmm. So we're more in that school of hard work pays off. Staying sharp pays off, right?
Yeah.
But there is this new thought of dialing it back and taking it easy so you're not worn out because of, again, we saw the whole Tibbs thing. That was the argument about Tibbs. Driving a team too hard can make them burn out. Which is it?
But
because I don't like the idea of like dialing back practices and taking it easy, leave it up to the players. That means I got to have players that I can just trust are going to put in the work on their own to stay sharp.
But
because I'm not doing it, I don't have the pedal to the metal late in the season because I'm trying to ease off them a little bit. I've always said I'd rather tell you you've got to tone it down than try to ramp you up.
Listen, it's that's why I said from the beginning, I think all of us can kind of see both sides of it because it depends. Yeah. And here's the problem though, it's a very blurry line for old school coaches to learn the balancing act of being a modern day coach. Because what did I complain about earlier? I hate hearing Carlos Mendoza feel like he can't say anything with any edge whatsoever. But also in this version of sports, if a coach or manager goes too far, you don't have a job. So it's a fine line. And there are times, guys, where maybe it worked for Harbaugh really well for a certain kind of players that he had. And then players are modernizing in better and worse ways, and your approach may no longer work. Guys, I'm going to remind you again, the Harbaugh thing is very exciting. He didn't come here because it was working out in Baltimore. So it is a I'd call it a 55-45 60-40 proposition that it works out for him.
Of course.
It's not a slam dunk. It never is.
But it's not a slam dunk, but he does have the resume. But what I wonder is it because you talk about the modern way of doing it. The old school way works. It's just that the modern day player, because of the money they make, and in most cases make more money than the coaches, they kind of dictate the policy. So was Harbaugh shown the door because his way didn't work, or was he shown the door because the players didn't like it? Like Mendoza, is he talking this way after games? Does Boone talk this way after games because he believes it's the best way to get the most out of his players, or is he being told by the organization this is the best way to get the most out of your players because this is how they respond, because at the end of the day they run the show? I've got no problem with a coach being fired if something doesn't work. Where I have a problem is, he's getting fired because the players don't want to work that hard. So let's bring in somebody that will do it the players' way. Well, That's no way to run your business.
Agree.
Run your business because it doesn't work. The players shouldn't have the complete say on how they should be coached and trained.
No, listen, that's what makes this whole thing complicated. Now, you talked about players making lots of money, Don. The Texans and all-pro defensive end Will Anderson Jr. have agreed to a historic 3-year, $150 million extension, making him the highest-paid non-quarterback. That's right. And by the way, $134 million of that's guaranteed.
Oh, wow.
So if you were playing a game with your friends of who is the highest-paid player in the league, not a quarterback, up until today, guessing that it was going to be Will Anderson Jr. probably would have been at the top of everyone's list. But right position, right time, great player, $150 million.
And you know what, Peter? You know, this is something that the owners, when they try to get a salary cap in baseball, when the baseball players say, I'm not going to be able to make the most money. A hard cap sport like football was still able to pay a non-quarterback $50 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
You deserve it, you get it. All right? The guys are still making tons of money in the NBA and the NFL. Listen, the NFL's got a hard cap, and yet they're able to pay a non-quarterback $50 million a year. A quarterback, $65 million a year. So the idea that, the stars won't get the money. Well, the stars will get the money.
No, they find it. 134 guaranteed is crazy.
That's tremendous.
Notre Dame and Villanova are going to play men's and women's basketball doubleheader November 1st in Rome to open the season.
Okay.
The universities are promoting the matchups as a chance to celebrate their shared mission and heritage as Catholic schools. That is the tie-in.
Okay.
So the jointly hosted event will include special programming that brings together academics, athletics, and spirituality.
Love it. It also helps that the Pope is a Villanova guy. Wonder if he'll be at the game.
And from Chicago, which is not that far from
Notre Dame.
Right?
I see what you've done there. That is a great point by you, Alan. It's a nice little moment there, because otherwise I'm not thinking like, is Rome, are the people of Rome chomping at the bit to get some D1 college ball?
Yeah. No, this is definitely more about the Pope, and
has to be.
It'd be great if they could put a court right down in the Basilica. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Oh, you kidding me?
It probably would be frowned upon, but I'm just saying, like,
not by the Pope. You might be into it.
Get Dickie V out there, the whole thing.
But yeah, it's just, isn't it funny? There are certain sports that you can associate with places.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have any less of an association.
Well, they love basketball in Italy now.
Yeah, that is true. It's just that college basketball seems ridiculous. Right. But you're right. But then again, Calipari.
That's right.
The baked patino.
We had fried Calipari.
You got the fried Calipari. You got the baked patino. There's don't get you start on the carne secca.
That's what was the carne secca?
I forget, and that was the other one that was better that we're forgetting.
Yeah, we had.
It wasn't carne secca. It's the other one.
That was a fun day, Don, when we made a menu of
college basketball coaches.
Of college basketball.
I'm going to do the Calipari. He's having the patino.
It's a good time. That'll do it for ENN on this Friday evening. And, of course, you already know that it is brought to you by our friends at Fanatics Fest NYC. It's returning to the Javits Center July 16th and 19th. Aaron Judge, Jalen Brunson, WWE stars galore, and so many more. It is going to be incredible. The world's largest sports fan festival. Tickets available now at fanaticsfest.com. We're going to open the phone lines on the other side of this, 1-800-919-3776. And before we get to your amazing calls next, I got to tell you, NBA fans, listen up. You can enter FanDuel's Play-In Palooza for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets every day of the Play-In tournament. All you have to do is place a live bet using your Play-In Palooza token. Then you'll automatically be entered for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. So don't just watch the NBA Play-In tournament from the sidelines. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get in on the action. And don't forget to enter FanDuel's Play-in-Palooza for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. 21 and over, physically present in New York. No purchase necessary, opt-in required, limit one entry. Profit boost bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost token. Prizes issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
The Knicks.
It's great to be in this position, but it doesn't really mean anything because at the end of the day, when you get in the playoffs, you got to find a way to win 4 of those 7.
The Hawks.
Atlanta's a good team. We're a good team. Everybody's good, especially at this time of the year.
The NBA playoffs.
You are better than Atlanta. Period. Stop. You should go out and you should beat Atlanta. And it should not be one of these extended series either. No, you should beat them in 5. You should.
Game 1 coverage begins Saturday at 5 on 880, 1050, and the ESPN New York app.
Hey, it's Michael K. Not sleeping? Well, it could be your mattress. That's why I always recommend my friends at PC Richard & Son. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step mattress fitting process so that your new bed fits you perfectly. They guarantee it. Top brands like Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic, and in-home delivery on any mattress $399 and up. It's free. So do what I do. Get to PC Richard & Son for your new mattress. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
Want to earn extra income for your business? Amazon Hub Delivery is looking for ambitious business owners to assist with local deliveries. When you become a partner, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area on a schedule that works for you. With each package delivered, you'll gain extra income and exposure for your business. Plus, Amazon Hub Delivery makes it easy to get started. There's no upfront costs, delivery experience, or long-term contracts required. Sign up to learn more at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
All right, spring's here, and you know what that means. It's time to get that grill going, and if you're not shopping at Wild Fork Foods, you're doing it all wrong. Right now, you get bacon-wrapped pork rounds for $2 each. $2. That's not normal. And chicken thighs for $2 a pound. That's awesome quality at a great value. Everything's blast frozen, so it actually tastes fresh. You got 7 stores or same-day delivery at wildforkfoods.com. Wild Fork Foods, quality meat, wild prices.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
It feels like everyone's sick right now. You aren't imagining it. Doctors say this is the worst cold and flu season in 25 years, and it's not over. I was just traveling. It was like everyone around me was coughing, sneezing, and sick. I can't afford to get sick, and I doubt you can either. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. Having a medical emergency kit is like having urgent care and pharmacy right in your home. It includes essential prescriptions like generic Z-Pak to help you get well faster, plus important antibiotics to treat pneumonia, strep throat, sinus and ear infections, nausea, even UTIs, and many more common and serious illnesses. It's your kit the moment you need it. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. It's genius. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. I can save you $45 when you use my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. Again, save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
The NBA moves fast, and the stars move faster. With DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, you're never a step behind. DraftKings keeps pace with every play, offering industry-leading live betting, dynamic odds that shift as the game unfolds, and more open markets more often. They're live when others aren't, so you're always in the game when it matters most. Get in on the action with live player props as the most exciting performances unfold in real time. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WHSQ. That's code WHSQ. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problems gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply.
Less than 4 in 10 kids aged 6 through 12
are playing sports regularly. 4 in 10 kids, let it sink in. Just 4 in 10 kids. ESPN is building a nationwide coalition powered by Disney called Take Back Sports, with the purpose of training more coaches, expanding access, and creating community-driven sports programming that puts kids and fun first. We're working on that story. We hope you'll join us.
Visit takebacksports.org to learn more.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg right up till 7 o'clock. Last call crew, 1-800-919-3776. Tons of phone calls to get to. Let's go to Joe in Monroe. You're on ESPN New York. How are you, Joe?
Hey, what's going on, guys? What Alan was talking about earlier about not enjoying this moment, this period for the Knicks, is a virus in sports for most fans. And I'm a Yankee fan, but it's, I think, the worst in Yankee fandom, that there's this expectation that there's a championship owed to you for some reason, or that if it's not a championship, this season is a bust or a failure. And it's seeped into the regular season, and fans, in my experience, are just angry all the time. Which, if you don't enjoy watching the sport, or you're angry all the time, don't watch it. But don't drag me into the conversation of this hatred of the failure because you're expecting to win a championship. From the player's perspective, I get that it's a failure if your goal is to win a championship and you don't do that. But this annoying anger from fans that are demanding and expecting and just angry all the time about not getting a championship, that you can't enjoy a season. Like, I remember when the Knicks, I think they won 17 games in 2017. And I think that was Mitch's first year, I believe. And I was like, good God, this is so horrible to watch, because it was like every second half, third quarter, it was just blown out, and that was the game. And now we get great basketball all the time, and they're in the playoffs, and I won a championship too, but like this expectation from fans for it's a championship or bust. Like, I don't know when it started. I think
that's what I want to ask
LeBron,
you, Joe.
Jordan.
Joe, how old are you?
I am 29, so I missed.
Wow. Okay, so I'm asking. That's not why I'm asking you. I'm asking you because you're a rarity. Because for like Don and I are in our 50s, and we remember a time as fans where, sure, a championship would be great, but you didn't live season to season saying they didn't win a championship, this season sucked. We didn't do that. It was always because, and it was something, the Islanders lost to the Oilers in 1984, and I was devastated, and I was mad and all that stuff.
Right.
And my dad, who's a Rangers fan, just looked at me the next morning when I'm like flipping out about it. And he looks at me, he's like, they're going to play again next year. You know that, right?
Right.
Like they're not done playing. They're going to play again. He's like, they're really good. They're probably going to win it again. Like, but his whole thing was, there's another year. It doesn't ever really end. You start over again. And that's the beauty of being a fan year after year after year. It's just sort of like the coming back to it and the hope. Now, what Don says about the Mets, I'll give him that, because you can't live year to year because you don't know what you're getting. But what you're saying, Joe, is a rare thing for somebody of in his generation, because when he says, I don't know where it started, I think it started in this century. I think it started recently about LeBron's got to win championships or else he can't be considered the greatest, and Tom Brady winning it every damn year. Like, I feel like it started this century.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Rings culture.
Because, like, the frustrating thing with you and me with the Yankees is that you haven't won a championship since 2009. However, in those 16 years, you've had amazing seasons. You've played in a World Series. Your franchise is relevant. At the end of the day, why do we root for our teams to win? That we could take pride that our team's the best and we've got attention and people are paying attention and people are showing respect to our franchise. That's really what it is. We don't get a ring. We don't get to march in the parade.
No, all you get is a satisfaction.
We get the satisfaction of knowing our team that year was the best and the attention that our team gets. But it's not like the Yankees have been irrelevant. They stay relevant despite the fact they haven't won. Now, the Mets have gone 40 years without a championship.
40.
I think that's ridiculous.
Wow.
You know, the Islanders, they had their dynasty. Well, that dynasty was well over 40 years ago.
Yes.
So, you know, the Rangers have had one championship in 85 years. Those fans have a right to complain.
The Rangers have only been back to the Stanley Cup final one time since then.
One time since
At least
they
the
won
Mets
the
have been to the World Series two times.
A couple of times, right. So, and now there's more teams. And now there's more teams to make the playoffs, which gives you the perception that you should win more because there's more opportunity because you get to the playoffs. No, it actually lessens your opportunity because now there are more teams, there's more rounds, and now it's become harder and harder to win.
Completely agree.
You know, so we're still looking at when the Yankees won their 4 championships in 5 years. Baseball still wasn't doing the revenue sharing. There was only a handful of teams that had the chance to win, and they took advantage of that, right? And when they won all their championships back when there was just the 2 leagues, American League and National League, you went right to the World Series. You won your 4 games. You won your trophy. Now you've got wild card. You've got divisional round. You've got league championship series. It's crazy. It's hard to win. Now, Kansas City figured it out. New England figured it out. Well, the Dodgers seem to have figured it out, but
you're trying for that one time where we've seen one time some of these other markets have figured it out. Again, Toronto Raptors won an NBA title. The Knicks haven't won one since 70. Toronto Raptors, how did they do it? You know, it worked out. But I keep reminding people of, which I think is probably the greatest sports era in New York, and we say the 90s. I know Anthony's going to roll his eyes, but it is true. Every single team had runs. Everybody. Nobody sucked for a long period of time. But what I want to remind everybody is, you know, when especially when it comes to the Knicks stuff, and people talk about the 90s like this glorious time, folks, they didn't get out of the second round most of the time. But we look at it because every year, 45 to 50 wins, every year, national TV, every year you're playing in playoff games. You've got rivals. It's fun. It was always fun. It was fun to be pissed off. It was fun to be jubilant. It was fun to be relevant. And now today, it's now considered it's a waste of my time because it didn't end in a championship. And that's the wrong way to fan. And I'm telling you what Joe said, and the fact that he's 29 blows my mind.
Yeah, no, he's a rarity.
Yeah, but that's really what it is. It's the difference in generations. It was fun to go through that. It was excruciating. Of course, It was maddening and all that stuff. Reggie Miller and Michael Jordan and the Miami Heat and all that. But you know what else, though? You were alive, man. You were in it. Nothing better.
Yeah, and the relevancy is something. Let's go to Jimmy in Montclair. You're on ESPN New York.
Hey, love the show. As always, thank you guys for another great week of shows.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Jimmy.
No problem. Continue the playoff talk. I always call and I always mention I'm a double season ticket holder. Hey, every year we always start the season with playoffs. We got to make the playoffs. And kind of connecting it, I feel like we haven't won in forever. It's been since 2003, and I'm paying $11,000 for my 3 seats in the lower bowl. We got to start doing something. So hopefully Sonny turns it around. And I thought the Mets would have carried me through the spring and the summer, but apparently not.
Well, I think they made the right choice at general manager. Ultimately, we'll see. You keep Luke and you keep Jack healthy. I think they should be able to make the playoffs. But there's an example. The Devils were a team that consistently made runs, and they won 3 championships in 8 years. Well, they went to the Stanley Cup final in 2012. which was 14 years ago. They've won one playoff series in 14 years. So the fans are frustrated, and I get that. I get their frustration because I don't know how old Jimmy was, but if your last Devil championship was 2003, that was 23 years ago. So if you're a 30-year-old man, you really don't have much of a recollection of the last time the Devils won. I'm fortunate. I'm 58. I got to see the three. I was in the building for two of them. But you're 30, 32 years old. You might have a kid. You're going to a Devil game. You don't know the dynasty. You don't know all those championships, right? All you know is they went to a Stanley Cup final against the Kings, lost in 6, and have won one playoff series since.
I would also add to the caller's point about the amount of money he's paying. There's nothing a team could do to make that much money or worthwhile to me. I don't even understand. That's a whole separate conversation about how, and this is across all sports, just what people are paying for tickets. It's just,
and that's why you kind of have to respect what Dolan's done in not raising ticket prices when the Rangers missed the playoffs. Now, they're very expensive to begin with. Don't get me wrong. It's the Gardens, New York City.
Well, and let's keep in mind, it's a low bar because it's the idea of having a service. Essentially, the teams are a service, and the service is to provide you entertainment and joy. And when they fail to do that, like we accept that it's normal in sports that they raise the season ticket prices anyway. Right. It's crazy that they do that, but they normally do. So you got to give them credit for doing it.
The franchise that currently holds the longest drought without making the playoffs.
Right.
Correct. Yeah, I know them, the Jets.
Continuing to raise prices and then making some fakakta excuse about home games and all this other garbage.
Yeah.
Like how do you have that meeting and with a straight face be like, yep, let's do that. Instead of one person instead of go, you know what? 15 years,
I want to see the number.
Probably shouldn't.
I would love to hear from a Jets fan. Like, if you knew for a fact, like, what did you pay in let's just say 2012? Or when was the last championship game? 10?
2010.
10.
So what did you pay? What did you pay in 2011? And what are you paying right now? I'd be so curious. Like how many? Like if your season ticket was $250 a seat, then
if you've been a season ticket holder since then, You're right. Look it up. What did you pay
number per
then
seat
compared to now? And let's. If we could we'll take all weekend. We'll crunch the numbers with inflation and everything
I'd be curious.
else. That'd be wild. Yeah, Don. Though before we go,
yes,
in the last segment, I know we got last caller crew. I do want to, though, because we have to pay off the tees, there is something Met-related to our conversation.
Oh, yeah.
That I do want to bring up to you when we come back, just to see if that at least gives you a little bit of hope.
Okay. Check it out next. Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Yankees fans, have the official Yankees official game day program delivered to your door. Subscribe to Yankees Magazine by calling 800-GO-YANKS or visiting yankees.com/publications and get 8 issues a year for just $34.99 plus shipping. The Yankees official 2026 yearbook and media guide are also available for purchase. Get your Yankees Magazine yearbook or media guide today. Call 800-GO-YANKS or log on to yankees.com/publications.
25 a month, 5 whole years, same sweet number in your ears. Check it in a year, check it in 5. This ain't optimum 5, but price is still alive. 25 a month, 5 whole years, same sweet number in your ears. Get Optimum famously fast fiber internet. Optimum.com/25 for 5. Or call 8884-OPTIMUM. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
Long Island is more exciting than ever at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. This month, we're cracking open spring with our $55,000 Egg-Splosion drawing. Earn entries all month long, then be here Thursday, April 30th from 4 to 6 p.m. when 2 winners will be drawn every hour to win cash prizes ranging from $2,500 to $10,000. At 7 p.m., 1 winner will be drawn to hatch the grand prize of $20,000 at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
D'Agostino Law Bite Back. This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates. Did you know Social Security takes money out of every paycheck you earn? Paycheck after paycheck. And you're not supposed to touch that money until you're 67? What if you can't work? What if you need that money now? The system is challenging and most people get denied. That's a fact. D'Agostino & Associates has the experience to win, and we win a lot. If you filed for Social Security disability benefits and were denied, let us appeal. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. Bite back means fight back. 1-800-248-3222. We'll fight to get you paid. D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and handles Social Security disability claims and appeals. Remember, if you've been denied, call us first. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino & Associates. We win a lot.
Join DiPietro and Rothenberg Thursday, April 23rd for a special couch cast of Round 1 of the NFL Draft. Presented by Calandra's Bakery. The Jets and Giants have 3 picks in the top 16, and Rick and Dave will react live as the first round unfolds. From the big decisions to the big-time drama. Catch it all in this YouTube-only exclusive, and it's all from Calandra's Bakery and your home for football talk. ESPN New York.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Partner with Amazon Hub Delivery to earn extra income for your business with your business. Assist with local Amazon deliveries and get paid for each package you deliver. When you become a partner, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area on a schedule that works for you. Gain extra income, increase exposure for your business, and connect with neighbors. It's easy to get started with no delivery experience, long-term contracts, or startup costs required. Interested in learning more? Visit Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. That's Amazon.com/HUB Delivery.
ESPN New York and Florida Core are giving you a chance to design your day with Michael K. One lucky fan and guest will win a studio visit exclusive meet and greet with Michael K. This is your all-access pass and experience you won't forget. To enter, head to the Floor and Decor flagship store, 850 3rd Avenue in Brooklyn. Design your day with Michael K. Presented by Floor Decor.
All right, Don.
Alan?
So 9-game losing streak for the Mets. That's the longest since 2004, if you are wondering. This is their worst losing streak this early in the season, April, since the early part of the franchise's history, going back to the 60s.
Okay.
Yes, they have a $365 million payroll. They have a bottom 3 offense right now. Things are looking bleak. Things are terrible. And your frustration is about how you want to see something, just for once, to be a sustainable success of building something that every year can be good. Well, I have one area that I can give you that is very reminiscent of the beginnings of the Houston Astros.
Okay.
And that is that the Mets do have one of the best farm systems in baseball. That is something that Stearns was determined to do and build up and protect. ESPN actually had them at number 1 late last season before they brought all the pitchers up. but they're still considered like top 10. So when you think about it, how to build a franchise that can win properly, and while, yes, the Mets built what they built in the 80s through acquiring Gary Carter and Keith Hernandez, where did Doc come from? Where did Darryl come from? Where did, like, some of those pieces come from as well? So can you at least feel like there is supposedly hope on the horizon in the form of a strong farm system that either players come up and they perform for you, or they're used in trades for better
Well, you
players?
hope. I mean, that is a sign of hope, and I do think the most
That's all I got for you.
Sustained success is when you do well through the draft. And trades, as you put it, where you can use some of those prospects because they can't all play. They can't all make it. When you look at the 80s, yeah, Doc and Darryl came up, but they also, traded Hubie Brooks to get Gary Carter.
Right.
They traded other things to get Keith Hernandez. So that's how you build. But you got to be smart.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, those prospects have to hit. You got to make deals that work out. Keith Hernandez worked. Gary Carter worked. Ron Darling worked. Sid Fernandez worked.
Well,
they put it together.
But think about the names you traded for Gary Carter, which, I mean, that's an obvious one, right? What he was from Montreal, they loved him.
Yeah.
Hernandez, a bit of a little bit of a risk because of some of the issues he had in St. Louis, but he was already one of the best, right? One of the best hitters. You brought in guys who had resumes. I don't know if they've done that here yet, other than Soto, of course.
Yeah, that does give you hope. You just have to make sure that these guys pan out and you make the right deals.
Yeah. Well, I needed to find some silver lining for you
trying,
going into
Peter.
the weekend.
Yeah, no, listen, I appreciate the effort. I mean, it would really be nice to come back Monday and not be talking about, what would that be? We'd be at 10-game
no, wouldn't it be 11?
It's 11 even, me. Yeah, I'd like to not that. Now, remember, maybe the Danhausen uncursing will kick in over the weekend, and they'll get 2 or 3 in Chicago. And they come home on Monday?
Yeah, they're off on Monday, and then they start a 3-game series at home against Minnesota on Tuesday.
Yeah, like you dream about.
Let's squeeze in Jonathan in L.A.
That's right,
on
now,
ESPN New York.
like I dream about.
Hi, guys.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, guys.
What's
Fellas,
up?
Oh, my God, Peter, Vegas looks so dope. Really quick, man. How the hell they have the referees and Brian Roberts in the meet and greets, but they don't got my guy Peter Rosenberg, man. Come on, man. They got everyone, referees, everyone except my guy Peter Rosenberg. WWE got to step up with that, man. But overall, man, hope you have a great call. Hope you have a great weekend. It sounds like you're having a blast, man. I'm hating, and I'll be watching for my guy right there, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Donnie, Alan, what's up, man? And good luck to your Knicks. Don, really quick. So my son right here, he's like the fraud police, man. You created a monster. Everyone he tells, oh, you're a fraud because you're wearing this. You're a fraud because you're wearing that. Now, Donnie, they invited us to go to Dodger Stadium on May 31st to walk on the field for his Little League team. And he keeps telling me to call you to ask you if we go. He says he's going to wear his Yankee hat. If we go and walk around that field, a team that we hate so much, are we frauds? Now ask him. Are we frauds for going? Are we frauds, Don?
You are not a fraud. To be able to walk on a major league field, but you wear your Yankee hat proud, you are not a fraud, my friend. And I love the fact that you're looking out for frauddom all over the world. You got it. Go, come on. A chance to be on a major league field, walking around, man, you don't begrudge a kid that.
That's great.
That is awesome.
Thank you, fellas. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you.
Enjoy. All right, we got a couple of minutes left here. Let's give predictions. Knicks-Hawks, who and how many? Let's start with Peter.
Knicks-Hawks, it's Knicks in 5. There's no question about it to me. I'm going to give the Hawks 1, but I think the Knicks get both this weekend. The next game 2 is Monday. I think that they get the first 2, 1 in Atlanta, and then they finish the thing off.
I'm going to go 6 just to be different because everybody seems to have the Knicks in 5, and sometimes they make things a little more difficult than they should be, but I think they'll wrap it up in 6. Alan?
Yeah, I'm going to go 5 as well. Same reasons for Peter as well. I think it's going to be an important tone setter Saturday to just see them as they start this game and start this series and start this march towards what they are hoping to be another long run in the postseason.
All right, we are going to be live outside the Garden on Monday for the block party. So swing by, say hello. It'll be a little chilly, but I think it's going to be a nice day.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully the Knicks are up 1-0 and try to rock them on to a 2-0 series lead by winning the games and holding serve at home. We'll be able to recap the weekend, Mets and the Yankees and how they did. And we'll take a look at the other games of the NBA playoffs and the NHL as well. So, guys, have a tremendous weekend. And, Peter, safe travels from Vegas.
Thank you, guys. I'll see everybody on the Countdown shows all weekend long. Hall of Fame red carpet tonight as well.
And 5 o'clock tomorrow at MSG, Alan Hahn, Bill Pito, Wally Zerbiak breaking it all down before the game.
I'm looking forward to it, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's finally time. Playoff time, baby.
Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson. What's